All right, go to the channel, watch for comments. Okay. Yo, 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 yo. What is good, gamers? What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you with another live stream. Do me a favor, please hit the like button, help spread my content to a wider audience, and make sure you hit the bell icon to stay notified when I upload new content. I would appreciate that as well. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. I hope you are enjoying the content. And so getting straight into it. Um, so Media still claiming that single player games may die. So right out the gate, let me share my screen with you. Well, let me click on the article first. So give me a second. And while I'm bringing up that page, the comment section is open, so feel free to jump in. Um, also, I'm expecting to be joined by Gunru Gaming, so let me send him a link real quick. So I'm kind of multitasking right now. Give me a second. So I can send him a link. Copy. Real Flesh Gaming. Send direct message. And there's his link. You know what? Let me send one. Let me send one to J Wags just in case he happened to be floating out there. And I think Sick Humor for that matter. Just in case they happen to be floating out there. Give me a second. Okay. Savage, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Sending out some links for people who want to jump in, see if Sick Humor and Jay Wags, if they happen to be floating out there, see if they want to jump in. I'm expecting to be joined by Gunru Gaming here shortly. I just got off the phone with him. So all right. So let me go ahead and show you my share my screen. And right here, single player games are at risk of becoming obsolete. All right. Let me read a little bit. With the latest news that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will be scrapping a campaign, which I believe the campaign was never there in the first place. I believe they never intended to put a campaign in there. It is apparent that single player games are at risk. Big budget games seem to be aiming for games as a service as well as implementing a multiplayer aspect. Gamers just don't seem to be invested in a solo experience. Major publishers such as EA, Activision, and Ubisoft have been approaching this model in more of their major installments. If gamers continue to purchase these games in droves, then single player experiences will most likely not be as readily available. Okay, so more and more companies are favoring multiplayer only experiences. Rainbow Six, Overwatch, Destiny, just to name a few. Of course, these can be enjoyed without friends, but they still pair you up with other players to help complete a team. This multiplayer aspect is a major factor in creating games as a service. In order to keep making money, companies create a series of microtransactions, DLC expansions, no shit, and oftentimes both. Even the popular free-to-play Fortnite was able to make over 15 million in its first 3 weeks on mobile. This model even had the developer Rockstar scrap a single-player expansion for Grand Theft Auto 5 in order to fully focus on the online mode. It is clear that many major game companies see this as more profitable than just creating a solo story. All right. I think I read enough. I'm really getting tired of this narrative. I mean, let me shut the screen share off.
Yo.
Whoa. Gunru Gaming, welcome aboard, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Lincoln Clay. What's going on with you?
Not much. So, for everybody viewing this is not the Lincoln show. I'm just doing a live stream, commenting on a couple of things, but I still asked Gunru Gaming to come in here with us anyway. And like I said, I sent out links to Jay Wags and Sick Humor just in case they happen to be floating around. So so don't expect them to be in here because I don't even know if they're even online. I just sent it out there on a whim, so they don't even have any idea that I was about to go live. But anyway, Gunru, as I was just showing the people on the screen share about single player games may die.
Oh man, that's terrible. Terrible to think that. Wow. Microsoft spreading poison in this gaming community, man, with this single player die stuff, man.
I know this shit is killing me.
It's killing me. It's making me hate Microsoft more and more because I know that's where it's coming from, man. Because they only ones that's lacking in that department. They kind of defeat it. So that's the only narrative. And they do make a lot of money with multiplayer and games as a service. So what do they care? It's all about the money for them, and that's why I had to switch I had to jump off that bandwagon and jump on a new wagon that suits my needs, and that's single player and multiplayer when it suits me, just not all in one,
Mm-hmm.
So terrible news, man. I don't want to hate Microsoft, but every time I read stuff like this, it just makes me hate them more and more.
Right. You're right, Savage Uger. It's Microsoft and EA and even Ubisoft.
Yeah, I didn't even throw EA in there. Yeah, Yeah.
I mean, these none of these companies are making any single player game. I mean, if you want to I'm thinking that if memory serves me right, I think Cuphead and Super Lucky's Tale are the only single player games that Microsoft has made probably since Halo.
And I can dig Cuphead. I was playing it yesterday, man. Me and my sons was playing it yesterday, having a blast,
Cuphead is not for me, but Cuphead still needs to be there in terms of single player games. It still needs to be there.
That just goes to show, man, even young kids can have fun with single player games, man. You don't always have to be online. They had more fun than I had yesterday with it,
And this in the article that I showed everybody, that I screen shared with everybody, the article opens up talking about how Activision scrapped the Quantum Break and Recore. Oh, my bad. You're right, Savage. I mean, but that tells you how little I pay attention to some of the games that Microsoft is putting out, because that's how much they interest me. But as going back to what I was going to say about the single player shit, the article opened up with them talking about Activision scrapping the campaign. Truth be told, I believe that they never made the campaign.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think they ever even intended to make the campaign. Because last I checked, if something isn't going to be ready, they talking about the campaign isn't going to be ready. Last time I checked, when something isn't ready, you delay the game until it is ready. In their case, they're taking a chunk of the game out and going to move the date up. So that doesn't follow, conventional procedures in terms of a game not being ready.
Yeah. I mean, I want to kind of play devil's advocate for a minute on this whole single player thing. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So you do have, I read that article, and you do have games like Rainbow Six, Overwatch, all these games or whatever, right? And they're very popular, man. And you know, with Mixer and Twitch becoming more and more popular, and fans and gamers want to jump into these live streams and watch these, you know, streamers and all of that stuff, man. And my thing is this. I'm afraid that they might kind of do away or slow down with single player campaigns. I don't believe PlayStation do that. They got too many talented developers, whatever. But here's my thing. How long is it before they start making out, you know, slow down on making these games before they say, all right, we want to jump on this multiplayer streaming bandwagon? You know what I'm saying? Because companies like to follow each other, man, where the money at. So that is a legitimate concern for me, you know?
It is, but if I can jump in for a second.
Yeah, you can. But one more thing. How many God of Wars, you know, you got God of War. Okay, that was phenomenal, right? But it has to be a game of that caliber in order to entice people to, you know, want to jump into those type of games. Everybody can't make a God of War, even Sony. You know, it's not going to be games that's going to be that much of a hit, you know? How long is it before they jump on this multiplayer games as a service bandwagon? That's my concern.
Even if they go the games as a service route, why can't a game like God of War be on their games as a service?
Well, it can, but you know, I don't know, man. I mean, the way Microsoft is pushing it, man, it's going to be more geared towards games as a service as a multiplayer component. You know, I really don't see God of War being that. People going to buy that game, beat it, then, you know, the real fans will keep it. But then, you know, people going to want to trade it in. I mean, yeah, that will kind of make sense to be a games as a service, but that ain't going to be the majority of the people that's purchasing the, you know, games as a service subscriptions like Game Pass or whatever. They on there to play these multiplayer games.
You know, in terms of people trading the games in, I'm willing to bet you, I mean, the people that wrote this article, I mean, have they forgotten that God of War did 3.1 million in 3 days? Have they forgotten that Horizon Zero Dawn, I mean, last time I took a look, you know, was sitting on 7.4 million, but you know, when that subject came up again, somebody in my comment section said they were sitting on 9 million. I mean, have they forgotten about that? You know, the Uncharted games have sold pretty good. You know, the Shadow of the Colossus did all right, you know, and see.
But again, man, we're talking about a handful of games compared to all of these multiplayer games, man. And when once Red Dead 2 come out and they're going to have some multiplayer components, you know, like GTA 5, copying them, I'm just afraid that, you know, that's going to kind of take over. You know, we're talking Uncharted, you know, been there, done that. We already know they talented, Naughty Dog talented. We already know Santa Monica's talented with the God of War series. But, you know, how long we going to go before Sony like, all right, our heavy hitters is out there. Yeah, they coming out with new IPs, but is that going to be enough to battle what's going on with this, you know, games as a service multiplayer in the way these companies is making these money on this stuff? You know, companies are greedy, man. They a business first, and I'm not saying Sony's going to jump that. I'm not saying that's going to happen. All I'm saying is that, you know, they more apt to follow the money. If the single players are starting to get slow, they throw out these, you know, heavy hitters or whatever, and they can't continue to pace, then what's next? God of War 4, you know? How many, you know, do you think every single God of War gonna sell like that? You know?
No, but I still think there's a market for single player games.
Yeah,
single player games to me, if single player games die, it's not going to be because nobody's buying the games. It's because the publishers don't want to make them anymore, and they want to go to that games as a service because
that go back to my point about the money, right? And what they pressure to do, you know?
Right. Yeah. You know, you have people like Microsoft, but that is what they're pushing for, is with the games as a service. You know, these, you know, as much money as Microsoft got, these cheap bastards want to find a way to make a game once and collect money off of it for the next 15 years.
It is cheap, man. They can buy the best studio, hire the best, you know, game developers, writers, and all that stuff. They could do all of that, man. They just being cheap with the money. I agree with that.
That don't make no sense. You know, going back to Sea of Thieves, how that Kraken had no body. I mean, how much more money would it have cost to add a body to the Kraken? You know, Forza, you know, what I mentioned about the when a car comes into the pits, how there's, it looks like the car pulled into an empty parking lot and you hear wrenches and impact guns and shit like that. Like there's actually a crew working on the car, but nobody's working on the car.
Yeah.
How much more money would it have cost them to add that shit in there? At least add a cutscene or something like that. I mean, you at least see that with Gran Turismo Sport. When you pull into the pit, there's a crew waiting. There's a cutscene of your car jacking up, them changing the tires. You got a meter on the bottom of what kind of compound you want to go with on your tires and how much gas you want to put in the car. Once you stop putting gas in the car, there's a cutscene of the car dropping back down to its wheels. They lift the sign and give you the green light to take off. How hard would something like that have been?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think, what companies like Microsoft, especially Microsoft and now Activision, I think they just don't want to pay the money. Like, I think they don't want to spend the money like Sony did on, like they did on God of War, having to pay actors, the motion caps and all that shit. I think they just don't want to spend that kind of money. Now, I think in the case of Activision, I think it might have saved them. I'm willing to bet you it probably saved them at least $20 million. So, so with no actors to pay and probably no mocaps to, capture, that this multiplayer of the game was probably generated strictly from the computer and thrown out there. And especially with chances are they're going to be using the same fucking engine. And then when the game comes out, it's going to have the same bullshit. Fatal Professor, what's up? You want to jump in here, partner? I mean, I definitely wanted you to come in here, but I saw you were in a podcast with Ryan. If you know what, here, let me go ahead and send you the link anyway, and feel free to jump in. Send a direct message. One link coming up. There you go, my friend. We are on the subject of about the media pushing this narrative that single player games are going to die.
Pushing the Netflix as a service. That's what's coming.
That Netflix shit is really getting on my nerves because the way I see it, man, I feel like Microsoft is going after that drug dealer money. You know what I mean? Where they trying to, build a game once and collect money off of it for the next 15 years. And yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. Fatal, come on in here. Come on in here. Put on your superstar glasses and come on in here. And as I was saying, Microsoft is trying to get that reoccurring money, that money every month. And they want to build these games and spend minimal amount of money on them. So I think with no single player campaign, like I said, I think that saves them a good amount of money, not having to pay actors, not having to, do the mocaps, amongst other things. And I think when they make a game that's strictly multiplayer, they can generate the game strictly from the computer. I could be wrong. I don't know that much about that, but I'm just speaking from a common sense point.
Yeah, man. It's a legitimate concern.
I'll say it again. I don't think it's nothing to be concerned about because Sony is showing that there is a market for single player games, and Sony knows they can't try to run God of War 19 out there. They know that's not going to work. They got to keep giving us different experiences, and that's what they're doing. And like I said, Sony is willing. If you want to put it this way, Sony is willing to spend $100 in order to make $135. Microsoft is trying to spend $20 and trying to make $200, with this reoccurring revenue shit.
Yeah.
And so I say it again. Sony is demonstrating that there's a place for single player games. And them saying that they're going to double down on first party games, puts me at ease that the single player games is still going to come. It didn't have to come from Sony, but somebody still keep making single player games. I mean, look at Sega. They still making single player games. Sure, they don't, make a whole lot of money, but they still keep putting them out there.
As a fan of Xbox, it's a concern to me because I am a fan of Xbox. I'm starting to get a hate for them, but it's more of a hate, like I hate you. Stop it, dude. Give me what I want. But I am a fan of Microsoft. But I don't know. To me, they divide the gamers up. You got you got people that value single players is Sony guys. You got the guys who want, more of a, play to win, games as a service mentality is, with some third party hits. Is going towards Microsoft.
I don't think, the gamers is being split up by single player multiplayer. I think
losing gamers, man, by the droves. Wait to E3. Yeah. They're gonna start selling Xboxes and going to play. They divide.
That is an excellent point right there. If single player games are dying, why are so many people threatening Microsoft that they better have their shit together at E3 or they're leaving?
Yeah, because of those games. Because of those games. But that's the thing where I said earlier, Microsoft don't care. They bought the money. They don't care. As long as they got enough people to buy these services and they making this money, they don't care. So that's what I mean by dividing the gamers. The gamers are going to have to make a choice. If you care, you better pick up a PlayStation. If you don't care, you rather go home, and all you want to play is Fortnite and Overwatch and those games and be fine, then stick with your Xbox. Just don't buy the X because it ain't worth $500 to play those games. Don't make the same mistake I made.
Hey, Spartan God, the Kraken is lacking. What's up, Mr. Righteous Fish? Obviously, and Ryan Landy says, obviously, Microsoft is fine with third party making the games and taking the risk. I don't think Microsoft is taking any risks. I think they're playing it safe. I think Sony's the one who's taking the risk because they keep bringing us different single player experiences. Not knowing how it's gonna, not knowing how these games are gonna sell. Give us your take on that, Fatal.
Well, that's the thing. Sony has always done that since the PS1 era. Microsoft showed their true colors last generation by actually going out there and making an actual fucking form of an effort to get third parties to give them like exclusive deals, exclusive right to games, timed exclusives, all that crazy shit. This time around, Sony took advantage of that and bit smacked the fuck out of Microsoft for it. Because think about it. If Microsoft actually had legit third-party time, like more, like pretty much basically identical to their last generation, their numbers would be a lot higher than what they are today. But that's the actual success. That's the only type of success that Microsoft will ever get. And I hate admitting to that, but and I keep bringing this up all the time, but no matter what Microsoft does, they're never going to be able to dominate over Sony. Sony's got too much of an actual power name under their belt because they were out longer by a generation, of course. But at the same time, they know what their fan base wants. Microsoft toys with their fan base. That's what they're doing right now. They think that all their fans want is Halo and fucking Gears and Forza, and along with like, nobody asked for Lucky's Tale. We got that. Nobody asked for fucking the majority of shit. Cuphead was one of those glorified indie titles that fucking most people looked at and say, hey, you know what? This brings back nostalgia. This brings back whatever you want to call it. Then I know when it finally dropped, everybody was calling that the goddamn fucking platformer Dark Souls and shit like that. Even though those games I would never compare to Dark Souls, I would compare it more to the likes of old school Mega Man and old school fucking, Castlevania, fucking the original Castlevanias, hell, even Super Ghouls and Ghosts, difficulty wise. Hands down. Microsoft though, they can never actually fucking get a win. Even last generation, they got lucky as fuck. But even when they thought they had the advantage over Sony, look what happened. Sony came whizzing right next to them right at the end of that console life cycle last gen. They know they can't compete. So right now, what they're doing, man, is me personally, in my theory, I think they're gonna do their own shit because they have no competition. No matter what they do, they're fucked either way. There is no competing between that two. Nintendo and Sony, that's the legit competition, and it always has been.
Yeah, and to add to what you're saying, some of these Xbots have said on repeated occasions that you know what you're getting. Okay, well, if we know what we're getting, you know what you're getting with Microsoft. You know what you're getting with Sony too. So tell me why the fuck Sony's sitting on 80 million and Microsoft is still hiding their numbers, and everybody's guessing that they're still sitting on 37 million. They know what they're getting. They know over on the Sony side, they know that those single player games are over there. So, I mean, who the fuck keeps pushing this narrative that, single player games are going to die?
Yeah. And
they kill me with this shit. They really do.
That poison from Microsoft, man. You got to think. And now that I think about it, back when I first bought my Xbox, it was because of the multiplayer component. It wasn't because of single player games. And that's who they are. And they know that. and you got the fan base. You got the hardcore fan base who just want everything. They want their system to do everything. They want their system to do what Sony systems is doing, but they can't do it, and they feeling the heat from it. You know, so I'm a different gamer than I was, 10 years ago. I want these God of War, the Uncharted, I want those games. Oh, and the hardcore gamers, the real gamers want those games, and they've been expecting those games. And Sony been delivering those games for the longest. And go ahead.
No, and I will. Oh, fuck. Damn it! I just lost it. Go ahead. When it kicks in, I'll say it again. Go ahead though.
No, man. I'm just I'm not looking forward to E3 for Microsoft, man, because I don't want to have to sell my X. But if they want to know, throw in the towel.
Now I know what I was going to say. You know what kills me about all this shit is that how the media seems to report, how they seem to think, the gaming industry is centered around what Microsoft does or does not do. If Microsoft chooses to go in a direction that I think is suspect, the media will jump on board and act like, it's a brilliant move. If they choose not to do something, they act like, there's no market in it, so here we go again, because Microsoft is reluctant to fuck with single player games. They try to act like there's no market for it. When 80 million PlayStations out in the wild tells me otherwise. I don't, sure, I give you that multiplayer games definitely sell more than single player games. But if the game has both single player and multiplayer, then I think the game is definitely going to be a hit. You tell me which of the Call of Duties have flopped. All of them have, a single player up until now. All of them had a single player and a multiplayer. Yeah. There's still a market for that shit, and because Microsoft isn't really interested in single player games, they act like the shit is going to die and act like there's no market for the shit. It's like I said, Sony's willing to make that money slowly. They're willing to spend some money to make some money. They're willing to spend $100, to make $135. Whereas, like I said, Microsoft is trying to find a way to make $2 million out of the paper bag. They trying to find a way to make crazy money and don't want to invest any money into the shit.
They trying to see how many casual gamers they can appeal to. That's what they care about, man.
And to me, that still continues to be a mistake because the hardcore gamers
is leaving in droves. They're getting a PC and they going to pick up a pro and calling it a day. And I can play these cheap ass games on my PC and not even have to worry about this console bullshit. And this PC gonna last me for a while and go get me a pro, buy all my games over there. That's what I'm gonna do. Listen, I don't see a reason for me to keep investing money into the ecosystem, man, if this is what they're gonna continue to do. I could just, I don't care for PC, but shit, I'll have somebody help me build a PC. Have me a PC here at the house and just play my PlayStation. That's what they want. I consider myself a hardcore. I like everything. And if Microsoft ain't delivering that, then they're gonna lose me too. We'll see, man. We're gonna see.
You know what? I think that when the next generation starts, if the next generation starts out exactly the way things are right now, then Microsoft will lose the next generation before it even starts. Because if they want to go with this games as a service and go with multiplayer shit, then I already have my mind made up. I'm not buying the next Xbox if all that's going to be over there is multiplayer games that have no campaign and it's the same shit where I'm running over the same map, shooting at the same people, So you over here on the PlayStation side, those same multiplats are there. Those same multiplayers that I keep saying, the Battlefields is going to be over on the PlayStation just like it is on the Xbox. The Call of Duties are going to be there. You know, the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, the and whatever other, you know, multiplayer games they want to come out with. It's going to be on both consoles, but with, you know, the PlayStation, you still have another option with the single player games. More is better. You and that's what, you know, really kills me, how you know, Ryan Landis, he says right here, Phil has been saying that single player is dying since 2016. There's no way he has any AAA single player close to release. You know, and it really kills me how if Microsoft chooses not to do something that Sony's doing, well, fine. That's your prerogative. But don't act like, you know, because don't act like because you're not doing it, you know, and Sony's doing it, there's no market for it, and that kind of shit's gonna die. You know, that's why, you know, that's why they stay the fuck away from that VR. Because of the slow start that the PlayStation VR had, they thought it was no money in the shit. You know, and the more Sony lowers that price and the more that PlayStation VR goes on sale, you know, the more of them they sell. And I think back in December, I think they were sitting on about 2.5 million PSVRs out there. I'm willing to bet you it's probably sitting at close to 3 million by now. You know, and keep in mind, you know, now as far as I'm concerned, if Sony had not gotten into virtual reality, it truly would have died, because with PCs, you have to build a PC that costs no less than $1,000, from what I'm gathering, to be able to play you know, VR, to play VR games. And then the crazy part about it is a lot of these indie looking games on PlayStation VR that you see, it's the same games you see over on PC. So you're going to spend $1,500, you know, $1,000 to build the PC and about $500 for the headset to play the same indie looking, you know, VR games. So I think when Sony released their first numbers on the PlayStation VR, they were sitting on 950,000 units sold at the time. And that was still more than Oculus and Vive combined, because they were sitting at 400 and 500,000 respectively. So like I said, if Sony had not got involved in VR, it truly would have died, because Sony's the market leader and they made VR affordable. It's not going to die anytime soon. And they're still going to invest in the next generation. So they're going to make it hang around. But because Microsoft don't really want to fuck with VR, they're going to try to say there's no market for it. That's the part that kills me.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't, man. I was watching my son play PUBG on my phone yesterday. It just made me laugh, man, because I'm thinking about how much hype they put into that game.
How does that look, and how does it run on a phone?
It don't look half bad, man. I mean, I can't never play a game on a touch screen. That's just me. I have to have a physical, you know, controller. But he had a blast with it, man, and he didn't. It looked like he didn't miss a beat compared to him playing it on an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And I was laughing because he don't really understand why I was laughing, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's just what Microsoft want.
Is it a free to play game, or how much is it mobile?
Yeah, it's free to play. You can download it right off the App Store and start playing it.
Then it must be riddled with microtransactions if it's a free to play game.
Yeah, I probably so. I didn't look at it, but I'm pretty sure, you know, you have to pay something or to, you know, because he couldn't even put no clothes on. He's walking around naked up in that.
Truth be told, thanks, Ryan. He said I made a good point. Truth be told, PUBG, Sea of Thieves, and now State of Decay, to me, those should all be free to play games that should run on a damn wristwatch.
Mm-hmm.
None of those games look good. They all look like indie bullshit, you know. And then, you know, we've seen how PUBG runs. That's just mind-boggling. How you have a game with PlayStation 2 looking graphics, you know, and the world's most powerful console can't handle that shit. You know, Digital Foundry, when they ran they shit, you know, and even though we shouldn't, you know, always put stock into what they say, but on this go around, yeah, I'm going to say something about it. When on the standard Xbox One, the frame rates dropped as low as 4 frames, and I think on the Xbox One X, I think the frame rate dropped as low as 12, maybe 15 or something like that. Now, how the fuck you got a $500 console with that much fucking power can't run a PlayStation 2 game?
Don't remind me. Don't remind me, because I own an X. Every time I hear stuff like that, it makes me cringe. Oh man!
Don't forget, I'm split down the middle because I did buy my son an Xbox One X for Christmas. It didn't make me sick to drop that $500 for the console. It made me sick to drop $500 for the console, knowing that it was not going to have any you know, worthwhile exclusives. But it's what my son wanted, and I kept my promise to him. So as long as he's happy with it, then I'm happy. But myself, I have no reason to purchase the console. I've said it before. I've done my side-by-side comparisons, you know, albeit, you know, ghetto style, throwing 2 TVs next to each other and having the Pro on one and having the X on the other. And most of those games, I could not tell the difference with the naked eye. Out of all the games we had in our library, the only games I could tell the difference with the naked eye was Madden and Star Wars Battlefront. The rest of them, I couldn't tell the difference. And like, you know, and I did that shit ghetto style. I don't have Digital Foundry type equipment where I can zoom in 400 times and see that, you know, the Xbox One X has 2 grains of dirt where the PlayStation Pro got 1 grain of dirt. Who the fuck gonna go through all that shit?
Man, isn't it crazy that this is usually the driest time in gaming, you know, spring, summer. And here I am playing the show, playing God of War, patiently waiting for Detroit to Become Human, and Microsoft, we waiting to see what they got to say at E3. That's just terrible, man. That's that just, I don't know.
Hey, I mean, man, it's like I said it before. My Xbox One is in the bedroom. If it wasn't in the bedroom, it would never get turned on. If it was out here in the living room with my PlayStation Pro, you know, I said it before, I got a 65-inch TV in the living room, and I got a 55-inch TV in the bedroom. Now, if I was to throw my Xbox One on a 65-inch TV with the PlayStation Pro that's out there, that Xbox would never get turned on. OBJ the Don, what's going on, brother? Yeah, of course, Sea of Thieves is trash. You know, wait till E3. You got that right, impatient. So as I was saying about my Xbox, if I kept my Xbox out in the living room, it would never get used because anything that's on that Xbox is also on my PlayStation. So I moved the Xbox into the bedroom to separate the 2 consoles so I could at least do something when I'm in the bedroom. I go in the bedroom and watch fucking YouTube on my Xbox.
That's what I use it for, as a streaming device.
That's pitiful.
Yeah, I use it as a streaming device and a Blu-ray player, 4K Blu-ray player. I could have did that with the S, but I'm just saying. I mean, that's the only thing I can use it for.
And do we need to even get into the subject about that ridiculous shit that like Fatal showed us last week when some idiot on Twitter talking about games don't define consoles, you know, talking about features and shit like that.
Man, that's a dumb comment. That just goes to show how lost some of these Xbox dudes are.
So let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that there were people out there that would pass up playing God of War, that would pass up playing Uncharted, that would pass up playing the upcoming Detroit Become Human, There's people out there that would pass up playing those games. They would pass up buying a PlayStation and pass up playing those games in order to buy an Xbox so they can have Cody. So they can talk to the now discontinued Connect and tell it Xbox on and Xbox off.
That's what I'm saying. What features are they talking about? Because half the features either I don't even know or I don't use. Like, what features are they talking about? Who cares about features?
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know what features they referring to because I don't use Xbox for nothing else but streaming, a few apps. But, as far as PlayStation got apps. What features are they talking about? Like you said, the Connect is dead. Yeah, I really don't know what they're talking about. What features? The party chat's still shitty.
And
not even the way it used to be. It's slow, clunky. I hate they dashboard now. And I hate their party chat system now.
Right. And they keep on acting like all these damn updates that keep coming up. They keep making a big deal out of these damn updates, acting like the Xbox got redefined every time a new update comes out. So much to the point that they be mentioning that little petty shit on Inside Xbox about that free sync shit. They spend a significant amount of time talking about that shit. What the fuck does that mean to me? I mean, yeah, I guess change it. Then that's the other thing, Ryan. That narrative, how they act like one little feature like that, changing your name. They act like that one feature is a reason to buy an Xbox and a reason not to buy a PlayStation. Stop it.
Nah, man. I mean,
no.
Yeah, where you been, Fatal? Come on.
Sorry, I was stuffing my face. I was starving.
I was getting ready to do the same thing.
What's up, Jimmy?
I was fucking starving. I just donned a whole entire bowl of fucking spaghetti and sausage, dude. Not penis, goddammit, Ryan. Fuck off in the chat. But I was listening to what you guys were saying, and I agree. First of all, let me just say this real quick. Did anybody ever once use that narrative to say fucking, the reason why to buy an Xbox 360 is because you can change your gamer tag? Thought so.
No.
Exactly. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared.
They had games and they was winning at the time.
Exactly. So now they're pulling out bullshit excuses out of their butt cheeks because that's all they have to go on.
Yeah.
They kill me with that.
Because they know PlayStation gamers want that feature, so that's something they give them a little bit of ammo.
You know what? I don't even think I haven't heard the PlayStation community jump up saying, they mentioned, it'd be cool to change your own name, but they didn't,
they're not saying I need to change my name or else.
Right.
I'm shipping this thing off and selling it. They ain't saying that. So,
and truth be told, I don't even think the PlayStation people that have said we want that, I don't even think they started saying they wanted it until the Xbox people jumped out and started pushing that narrative, like this is a must-have feature. Like it, if this console don't have this feature, then then you shouldn't buy it.
No, that whoever fucking is like, this is what I don't get. I mean, I understand the fact that Microsoft has literally no games outside from the ones that we do know, like say the case dropping this month and fucking, Fuck Down 3, which no one's gonna buy, or Down Syndrome 3, I should say. No offense to anybody in the chat. Here's my issue though. My issue is this, right? So now that that they see like, E3's next month, blah blah blah, Microsoft's gonna shine, and it's like, yo, motherfucker, man, how many times have people been saying that every year, and yet they still ain't got shit. So I'm going into E3 next month with extremely low expectations from Microsoft. Now, granted, there are going to be a few hit or misses here and there that damn well that I would easily play because what kind of gamer that I am there, Lincoln. So there's no denying that. However, as far as like the big, massive blockbuster games that everybody wants and that even I wouldn't mind seeing myself, no, you ain't going to see that shit. Now, unless for some miracle that recent rumor floating around, which I honestly fucking can't get behind, even though I would love for it to happen. But I think it's just a rumor going around in order to get the Xbox fans all excited and shit like that. But why overexcite yourself if none of that shit's even to come to fruition? Like outside from myself that would really, really want an actual Quantum Break fucking sequel, that's the rumor that I'm referring to, right? Most people, when remember when Quantum Break came out, most motherfuckers on the console side never bought that fucking game because they were too busy bitching and moaning and crying about the fact, oh, it's on PC. Fuck that game. I'm not supporting it. I'm not supporting that game. And so now if they come out with a sequel, you think people are going to actually legitimately sit there and say, hey, Quantum Break, we got that, bitches. What do you guys got? Well, Sony already has a steady, nice fucking library of games coming out that I ain't worried about shit from Sony. It's Microsoft who I'm worried about as being an Xbox One owner.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, he'll be back. He'll be back. Google Hangouts has been doing some fuck shit the last couple of days, man.
Oh, Clay dropped
out? Yeah, he got kicked out, man. He'll be back. Don't worry.
Oh man.
But that's my whole entire prerogative, right? I think do I want to see new things? Of course. Anybody with an actual food for thought in their fucking head easily knows that they want to see Microsoft shine because we want Microsoft to do better.
I do. I definitely want them to do better.
Yeah, we all want that. We're not saying that we don't want Microsoft to fucking utterly fail. I mean, there are people out there that do feel that way. They want to see Microsoft get out of the business. But I just ignore those people because they're the same people that were saying the same shit about Nintendo last generation when it came to the Wii U. Exactly. The thing of it is, at the end of the day, Microsoft does have the ability to turn shit around if they so choose. Now, are they going to? That is yet to be seen, obviously, especially with the last couple of years of Went. Their main focus, and even Phil has talked about this in recent interviews, and this has been known since 2014. It seems to me like there's so much evidence pointing in the fact that they want to do their own thing. They want to release their own first-party games to as many people as possible. They want not the fact that they want to get out of the business. They just want everybody else to enjoy their game. I guess Microsoft fucking is going based on that. Oh, exclusives are fucking our anti-consumer bullshit, which to me is ultimately bullfuck because that's the main reason why that's what attracts us to consoles in the first place. You know what I mean? We buy Sony because we know we're going to get our Uncharted. We know we're going to get Crash. We know we're going to get Jak and Daxter. We know we're going to get, a lot of these amazing games from Sony that we know and come to love. Microsoft, you're guaranteed at least 3 IPs. It's a bullshit from fucking Rare because modern Rare fucking sucks chode. Remedy is now multi-plat now. Sunset Overdrive is no longer ever going to be another thing on Xbox. And if the sequel never does happen, it's going to be either on Sony or it's going to be multi-plat. I can't fathom the fact that you're dealing with a fan base, people. You're dealing with a fan base that is so much in the barrel of denial that they have to use features, fucking garbage features that only affects maybe a small, tiny portion of the actual Xbox fucking fan base to gloat about their console being better than Sony, which makes no fucking sense. Like, I've seen people on Twitter the other day gloating about the fact that Microsoft now has that update that just recently came out in the last firmware update. That, now we can use FreeSync now. That's one better feature on the Xbox that Sony doesn't have. But yet, how many people own a fucking goddamn fucking monitor that has FreeSync on it? Probably not many.
Right.
Not many at all, right? So how is that feature benefiting everyone on the system? See, Xbox Live benefits everybody that owns an Xbox because everybody has to have that, right? Party chat. Anybody can use that. I can use Party Chat on PS4. We have to pay for PS Plus. We get games for Gold. We get games for Plus. Now, that's debatable too as well, depending on what you like and what your preference is. At the end of the day, when it comes to the games that are on those fucking 2 services. Game Pass, to me, is better than what Sony has to offer as far as their backwards compatibility being PS Now. But I actually do indeed enjoy PS Now whenever I decide to get for it. I just think it's a little overpriced, but when I do play it, it's legit. I enjoy it.
Yo, what's up, Eric? Now, DJ Spartan God, you're talking about the 1440p, but isn't that the same resolution that the Xbox criticized the PS4 Pro for running at, because that seems to be the optimal resolution for the PS4 Pro is 1440p. Some games, I think some games have been able to hit that at 60 frames per second, some of them at 30, but you got 1440p on the PS4 Pro and then 1800p on the Xbox One X, and then they lose their mind and act like, like that's the end all be all. I mean, that's I don't know.
And yet those same people linking to as well fucking like never even knew that fucking Far Cry 5 was in 4K native on Xbox One. Or whatever it was. I'm not sure if it was native or if it was upscale. I can't remember which one it was. But yet when they found out about something, when Digital Foundry came out and made that video, all of a sudden the narrative changed. But yet those motherfuckers had no clue They hear the number. If the number is higher than what Sony's pushing out, automatically makes it better. When in actuality, no, motherfucker, that's not the case. The only thing that is factual, though, when it comes to higher numbers, is Sony, because Sony is kicking that ass.
Yep.
Period.
And I had a network issue, but I was saying this year at E3, I want to warn everybody that whatever Microsoft has got planned, whatever they show, take it with a grain of salt, because last year, keep in mind, they unveiled the Xbox One X and they showed all those, like those 30, 40 indie games. And other than what we got last year, the Cuphead, Super Lucky's Tale, Sea of Thieves, now State of Decay, were those other 35 games that they kept showing exclusive, at E3? Where are all those other games at? Nothing has come up about those games. So,
no, because the majority of them are already out.
But I'm beginning to think that
I'm being dead serious. Like, the majority of those games are already out.
I believe you. Where I'm going with this is that when I say take it with a grain of salt, I wouldn't doubt that if Microsoft does show us a bunch of shit at this coming E3, we may not even see any of those games, materialize. They could get canceled. Knowing how dastardly Microsoft is, it's possible that they could have had those trailers made strictly for E3 to shut everybody up, because Microsoft knows that they got, if this was a boxing match, they got one leg hanging through the rope, one more shot, and they're going through the ropes, because everybody's, is on, is at the end with Microsoft. So I think this year's E3 isn't going to be about, for Microsoft, I don't think this year's E3 is going to be about them trying to showcase what's coming up. I think it's about them trying to slap together some shit to keep the people from leaving.
Here's the thing, though, right? When you go back and you analyze that press conference very carefully, outside from majority of those games, even when the ones that were in the montage, whatever you want to call it, that are already released now, a lot of those like exclusive ones that they kept on revealing for, like, Darwin Project and Deep Rock Galactic and whatever you want to call it. When you analyze and you watch that press conference again, they use that term for those two games alone. And there's other ones too as well for timed, but mainly the one I'm referring to is console exclusive, right? That terminology bullshit that everybody fucking can't stand, even though it's been around since the fucking dawn of time. The reason why I'm bringing that up is, and the reason why it's very, very obvious, the reason why I make mention of that is because two given factors. Yes, well, it's on PC, but those are those games that are in game preview, right? Deep Rock Galactic has been out now since February, and Darwin Project came out back in March. I think it was March or at the end of February, one of those 2 months. Either way, point is this. What they do show off, and what they did show off during that conference, like 75% of the games that they did show off have already been released, either that came out early on this year, or it came out right at the end of 2016 or 2017. Sorry. Now, the ones that are missing from that list, like that dude with the guitar, where the fuck you want to call that indie game, and Night Shift, or not Night Shift, the last night. Those games are not released yet, but they are going to be released relatively soon, from what I understand. And that's the thing. And there's a lot of times too as well when Sony does the exact same trifecta too as well. Not only from like their VR standpoint or just from third parties in general, but a lot of those games that they do show off take a while to come out. Now, I'm not using the terminology in the sense of what like the first party games. No, because that just makes perfect sense why a lot of these games do take a long time to come out, and I'm happy for that. Because it just means better quality in the long run as far as fucking optimization and performance and all that crap that goes. Microsoft needs to fucking fix that shit, by the way. Point of the matter is that, like I said, when you analyze E3 this year, going into this year's E3, make sure you write everything down. And here's exactly what I did last generation. When last generation came around, not last generation, sorry, last year's, my bad, fucking screaming my words here. Last year, I wrote down every game that they showed, and then I put little brackets next to them, right? Like either like CE for console exclusive, Windows 10 or Xbox exclusive, or timed, right? And anytime you can tell when a game is timed, because it will say launch console exclusive, right? Or console launch exclusive.
Yeah,
that means that it's launching on that console first, and then it's eventually going to go whatever you want to call it, right? Darwin Project was also in that category too, mind you. So this time around, when you go into E3 this year, this is exactly what I'm going to do again too as well. I'm going to write down everything that Microsoft announces, and I'm going to pay attention to what it says when that game gets announced. If it's timed, if it's console, if it's full-fledged, doesn't matter. I want to keep note of that. So that way, when it comes time when we do our roundup for it, you know, I'll be able to correct people if they didn't pay attention to that conference. Because I feel like a lot of people did not pay attention to that conference at all. Because there's a lot of games that I bring up that had like their own like 2 to 3 minute presentation during last year's E3 for Microsoft, and nobody fucking remembers it. But they remember Sony's like the back of their fucking hand. But Microsoft, they don't remember shit. Because most people don't pay attention to any of the games that are there. Because now that's not strictly their fault. In theory, me personally, I think a lot of those games that nobody gives a fuck for, that's why they don't care. And that's why the majority of those games they don't remember, which clearly makes sense. Because Sony had way more stuff they showed last year that caught your eye. You know what I mean? Like God of War, you know, and Shadow of the Colossus and everything too as well, right?
Right.
Whereas Microsoft, there really wasn't a whole lot there that you can sit there and call your home, you know, and say, oh, I'm glad to own an Xbox because of this game. That makes sense. You know what I mean? But this time around, though, man, just go in there, keep your eyes open, and just write everything all down. And you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean.
Are you back with us, Gunru?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
My bad. I didn't mean to go on that little spiel.
No. Something happened. He fell out of the chat, and I had to send him another link.
Oh, yeah. Google Hangouts been fucking up lately, dude.
Yeah, that's weird. I think, you know, but technically, whatever they show at E3, no matter what they show, technically is not an exclusive because everything they show is going to be PC and I would imagine looking at the big picture, they're going to be looking to get it across all platforms.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. Even though the terminology of console exclusive still stands for its own agenda, depending on the person to person. You know what I mean? Most people will sit there and be in denial about the fact that it's not, you know, they don't care because they don't look at console fucking from a PC standpoint as being an actual consoleized experience. They look at that as a platform per se. So when they hear the terminology of console exclusive, that's exactly what they're looking at. They're looking at from all three consoles, right? The Switch, the Xbox, and PS4, and they see that PS4 and the actual Switch is not getting this game. So they automatically, that's what they quote that, and that's what they use that terminology. Sony does the same thing too as well. They do it with games like Street Fighter V, and I'm sure there's bound to be more. Even, you know, Hellblade 2 as well, when it was timed, it fucking, you know what I mean? It was still technically a console exclusive because my Xbox didn't have it at the time. No Man's Sky was the same thing too. Even though, yeah, they were on PC, but a lot of console gamers, console-specific gamers that will never fuck with PC, they don't give a fuck about that platform. They never look at that platform for anything, and they'll never compare that platform to the console race because they know that's not what it is. So when you hear the terminology from a console exclusive, we know what it means. We know what it actually means. And it's a genius concept that now they're starting to use that as more of a go-getter, if that makes sense. Whereas like we knew that, you know, we've always done that console exclusive has been around since the dawn of time, right? That kind of shit like that, where we look at them as more along the lines of actual full-fledged exclusives. So now what they do is they use that term console exclusive. Like, hey, you know what? Yeah, it's on PC, but PC's not a console, therefore it's only on the Xbox One because I can't get it on PS4 or Switch. You know, from a console market. That's the reason why they coined that terminology. But yeah, a lot of those games for all of us, yeah, they're just going to be console exclusive, which means that it's on 2 different platforms.
Yeah, I agree totally. I'm looking at N4G and see if there's some other topics that catch my eye, but anything worth talking about is, you know, it's
kind of a dry week, man. It is Monday too.
Yeah,
as well.
I mean,
really dry.
We've got who was it here? Reader's Gambit gave God of War 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. The negatives on that shit?
Huh?
Did you see the negatives, man? Fucking performance? I'm like, what performance?
Performance?
Yeah, and then they sat there and they said too, was where like combat got stale or something like that. Fucking as their second negative. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Did you even play the game longer than fucking 10 minutes?
I know, man. Wow.
Let's see here.
But here's the thing though, right? They're linking a lot of reviewers, right? That are allowed to submit their reviews to Metacritic. Because right now, God of War is no longer 95. That got knocked back down to 94 now. Thanks to after a week after the game came out, it dropped down a point because of some of the critics that reviewed the game fucking less than an 8. You know what I mean? So now you're going to start to see a lot. And this is what I cannot stand. And I know I keep talking about this, dude. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you, this is why I never trust fucking reviews, man. Because it's so easy to sit there and make up lies and to slander a game because it fits your agenda for what you're trying to do because you don't want that game to be on the top charts.
Right.
Or you don't want that game to be popular. You know what I mean? Or you want to sit there and coin that term, the game is overrated, without fully understanding what that terminology even fucking means in the first place.
And when it comes to the gaming media, I'm led to believe that about 30 to 40% of them are paid off anyway.
I agree. I think it's actually higher than that, because there's actually factual evidence, proof out there of fucking like Kodaku doing that and other sites doing that. Yeah,
I can't listen to them anymore. I just can't.
But I mean, I've been a person my whole life. I've never looked at reviews for quantifying a game that I have to fucking buy. That no. Why should I let somebody else's opinion persuade me into buying a game that I may like or may not like? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's that simple.
And being that even though this fucking council war, was over years ago, people still fighting the fight, so, and the media is caught up in part of this shit, so I still believe that Microsoft pays off, the media to say good things about their games and say some bad things about some of the Sony games and vice versa. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony's doing it as well.
Clickbait too. They know it's gonna start a riot, so they write these articles knowing it's gonna be clickbait. These fanboys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, and you described it perfectly. It is exactly like a riot. Sony fans are those guys that are sitting there, the ones that are shielding up their shields like the cops. They put up those shields to block rioters and whatever the case may be. And the Xbox fan base is the rioters that go around, but they keep coming. They don't stop. It's like almost like an instant respawn. It's fucking stupid, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care that they lost this generation. They'll do anything in their willpower to make their piece of plastic sound better than yours. I mean, think about it. When you hear people saying that, games don't fucking define a console, which still pisses me off to this day, makes no fucking sense. Exclusives don't matter, or features is better fucking for us, or the ecosystem, which is another word that I'm always going to hate now going forward the rest of my life, because Xbox people ruined that terminology for me. So for now on, when somebody asks me why I play on PlayStation, because I like the ecosystem more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, over on the PlayStation side, I don't even use the word ecosystem.
Yeah.
I got a PlayStation and I'm playing games. It's that simple.
Yep.
Over on the Xbox side, they use that word ecosystem. It almost sounds like, okay, if you call yourself being invested into the ecosystem, it's almost like you have to own multiple consoles. You had to buy more than one Xbox One console. You had to upgrade as these consoles came out. You had to jump from the Xbox One to the S to the X, and maybe a little bit of the bullshit ass Minecraft edition on the side,
Yeah, see, I'm in the gaming ecosystem, not the Xbox ecosystem.
Yeah. So what do you do with the multiplats versus, because I don't know if you have an X or not, but like, what do you do?
No, I only have an S. I have an S.
You have an S? Okay, so yeah, it won't even matter. Like, I'm just thinking, for me, I have a Pro and an X, which I'm still regretting my purchase with the X. I think about selling it every day. Like, should I just sell this shit and go get the S while it's still hot? Sell it to some fanboy who would appreciate it, not having no games. But,
here's what, okay, and I brought this before, and I'll just say this super, super quick. If I was into, if I had a 4K TV and I wanted to invest money into the Pro or into, like the X, but like before they actually even dropped, right? The main thing that I was looking at though too as well is like, okay, what games are going to take advantage of this hardware, right? Sony provided that during their actual reveal when they first came out, when they did that Pro presentation with Horizon, and then also the enhanced games they were coming out with, plus all the future games coming out with it too as well. Microsoft, however, though, going across the last 2 years consecutively, back when the Scorpio was originally revealed in 2016, and also looking at 2017, both E3 from 2016 and 2017, there was not a single game they showed during both those E3 conferences that could have fucking warranted an actual purchase of that game, despite my fucking love for third party. Even though my love for third party is very, very, very limited lately, because I'm getting tired of fucking third party shenanigans. But despite that though, it gave me the opportunity and said, hey, wait a minute, Microsoft, you ain't fucking showing me shit that's going to utilize this console to its full potential. Sony over here is already fucking showing me Horizon before the game even drops, on how well this game is going to take with HDR and the fucking, in the checkerboard rendering and everything too as well. So if I was invested into buying one of these platforms, Microsoft would have been nowhere near my fucking radar. Nowhere near my radar, because at the end of the day, regardless of how much better your game is, the game is still the same game at the end of the day. The gameplay doesn't change. The story doesn't change. The character development doesn't change. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, people can gloat about how much more prettier your game looks at a higher fucking resolution. But at the same day, I'm still playing the exact same motherfucking game, third party wise, as you are.
Right.
So when I hear people gloat about, oh, well, Red Dead Redemption fucking on the 360 enhanced version looks absolutely incredible. And I'm like, dude, but I already played that game last gen. What do I want it again? Well, you can play it in 4K. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, the movement's still going to be the same. It just got a new,
exactly.
Just got some turtle wax put on it. That's about it.
Playing Gears is exactly going to be like playing Gears, no matter what resolution it's at. I'm still going to be taking cover. I'm still going to be popping out, popping shits, popping heads, two-piecing bitches. That's not going to change no matter what resolution or how much better the game looks. I'm still doing the identical same fucking thing I did before the X and the Scorpio even dropped.
Yeah, and it looked good the way it is. Like, who cares if it's a little shinier, like you said with the turtle wax? Who cares?
Exactly. And it's just like everybody else pretty much says that these 360 games that have been getting enhanced. You're gonna pop these games in for about 5 minutes, see how nice they look, and then that's it.
Yep.
Keon, what's up?
Man, y'all making me want to make this X take this road trip, man. We got
okay, Lincoln, let me give you an example.
I'm about to take this road trip with this X, man.
Honestly, man, you would have been better off to get a Pro. I mean, if you don't care about that little extra fluff, man, that third parties get from the X.
So do I.
You don't need the X.
I have a Pro too. I had
the Pro first before I got
it's not even. Yeah, then I would easily tell you. I mean, if you're willing to sacrifice just a little tiny bit more than what the Pro can do as far as the X can go, it's worth it for you in the long run. Save yourself money. Use that money and buy some extra games for your fucking PS4 Pro, bro.
That was my MO. Shit, this whole year. Before the X even released, I said, I'm like, where the fuck is the games? I'm not spending $500 and I'm not seeing any games. I said that money was better. That money's better spent on the PlayStation and all the exclusives they got coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Or better yet, if you want to do it this way, if you do care about that extra bit of power, then sell that shit and just buy yourself a good PC rig, man, and be done with it all.
Yeah. Let me respond to Keon for a minute. With Comcast, I still don't trust those shiesty bastards. The one thing I didn't want to do with Comcast is make sure I did not order the phone and cable along with them, because the three of those things combined is where they fuck you up on the bill. That's where I was seeing $400 a month bills. But the thing that iced it for AT&T, because that's who I was with. Now keep in mind, Keon, I'm paying $70 a month for AT&T. And my speed, I'm getting 18 megs down, and I'm not even hitting 1 meg up. I'm getting like 0.7, megs up. So I reluctantly jumped over to Comcast. I'm paying $25 a month for 25 megs down and 3 megs up. So I mean, you do the math right there. I hate Comcast fucking guts. But to be getting more speed, for less than half of what I was paying at AT&T. And then the final straw with AT&T is I've been having connection problems with them for years. A line got knocked out right outside my apartment, and they weren't going to fix it. And then I threatened to leave them, so they got their asses out there and fixed it. But my connection has been inconsistent over the years. It basically flickers on and off like a light switch. And my son was playing Roblox a couple of weeks ago. And when I was, when both of us were online at once, we kept having disconnect issues. So I contacted them via chat, and I lost contact with the first agent. The second agent came on and was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, I was in the middle of talking to an agent about getting these connection issues resolved. And I never got a response back. So they weren't even trying to help me, and that iced it right there. Said, this shit is fucking up, and you act like you don't want to try to fix it. So that did it. So I went back to Comcast. I don't like Microsoft, but if they got all the games, I guess I'm going to go there.
Yeah, Lincoln about Comcast today.
I'm glad that we don't have Comcast over here. We only have Bell and Rogers. And Rogers they used to have their moments, and I've threatened to leave them plenty of times, and they always score me deals all the time. So I'm thankful for that. Mm-hmm. But the internet is just too fucking good. Because Bell, I was with Bell for a couple of years, and I hated their fucking internet because I had similar problems that you had. And plus, they were back on ADSL too as well. They didn't have they weren't really big on the internet because they came in super, super late with that. But well, my actual Rogers, who I'm still with to this very given day, like they were overcharging my ass for a service that they had no longer part of their actual fucking plans anymore. But they didn't tell me shit. They didn't send me an email. They didn't send me a mail. None of that. They didn't even call or none of that shit. Well, I have a phone anyways. But still, point is that it wasn't until I found out like a good 3, I think it was like 2 years later, when I finally got around to call because I had to get my modem replaced because my other one was practically fucking on the shitter. The girl on the phone, like normally, representatives are not supposed to tell you that kind of shit because that's kind of against their, terms and agreement bullshit. But no, the girl's like, to be fair, you do realize that you're paying way too much for your internet for a service that we no longer fucking provide. And I'm like, go on. What are you saying? And then when she finally broke it down to me, I was just like, wait a minute. So you guys didn't bother to contact me? You mean to tell me that I could have been saving myself fucking like $80 on my internet every fucking month? I'm like, are you shitting me? So she felt bad. So what she did was she gave me the new hookup, right? It was like 110 for 300 down, fucking 60 up, right? Mm-hmm. For like 110 a month. And that includes fucking unlimited access to as well. Because we used to have caps over here, but we don't have them anymore. Unless you go down to a certain level of one. But anyways, so what she did was she fucking gave me a deal for the next 12 years, fucking that I only have to pay fucking half the price of what I originally had to pay. So instead of me paying originally like 100 and fucking like I think it was like 110, sorry, I'm only paying fucking half of that. So I'm paying $60 around 55, 50, almost 50, like $60 now a month now for my internet. Because she felt bad because I went fucking like almost 3 years, man, on that service that no longer provided, that was over fucking priced, and they never informed me of it. It's like, you motherfuckers, dude.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that some shit?
But that's what these companies do, man. They're shady as fuck.
There you go. Yeah.
So Gunru, tell me about. You said you're thinking about taking a road trip, huh? So what would it take to push you over the edge to make you take a road trip?
I'm trying to wait till E3. And I'm just waiting for them to piss me off. I'm gonna be sitting there like Fado said. I'm gonna have my pencil, my paper, my pad. I'm gonna be writing down all these games and writing down their goals and what they. It's like an interview. It's like I'm sitting in an interview. If I don't like what they got to say, I'm gonna be like, all right, you're fired, or you're not hired. I'm gonna go another direction. I'm sorry, this interview's over. I'm gonna be interviewing their ass, man. They didn't trust me. I'm
That's the best way to do it, man. Just write all their stuff down and then relook at that list and say, okay, do I see myself playing any of these games? Do I see any big standouts that are going to take advantage of the X? Nope. Sayonara X. I'll buy an S. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. I asked for a couple $100, man, and then shit. Then I'll buy a Switch or something or buy some games.
Right. Ryan Landon said your Xbox gonna be sweating in the corner.
Yeah.
That cracks me
up. That shit's gonna be leaking fluids and something. Don't tell me, bro. Don't tell me.
And I'm gonna have a box sitting right next to it too.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Shit.
I'm serious, man.
No, whatever. You know what it's gonna do? It's gonna trick you. Whenever you hit the on switch, that PS4 logo gonna light up on the screen and keep you from getting rid of your Xbox.
Yeah.
That term road trip cracks me up, man. Hard 8 was the first person I heard use that term. He said, "Me and the Xbox One X took a road trip, and one of us didn't make it back."
Six said it too. Six said they was taking that road trip too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Speaking of which, I don't know what's the story with him. Thoughts on The Lost Child coming out in June? I'm sorry, Keon, I'm not familiar with that. What is The Lost Child?
Is that a PlayStation game?
Might be a VR title.
VR title? Yeah.
If it's a VR title, then I'll definitely look into it. I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to VR lately because I'm still waiting on my games that I'm hoping are going to release this year with Alvo and Firewatch. It's a PS4 game. See, that's just how much games they pumping out. I will say I finally got around to playing that Yakuza Song of Life demo. And that's definitely a game I'm going to pick up once it's on sale. It definitely caught my interest. Shenmue 3 is still going to be a day one purchase. because I love the Shenmue games.
I can't wait for tomorrow, man, for when the official fucking game finally launches for Conan Exile, man.
Now, is that a PC port or is that, you know, because
it's technically a PC port, just consoleized. Yeah, just more consoleized. Kind of think of it like the way what they did with Ark, but except Ark has terrible performance problems. So does Conan, but it's nowhere near as bad. It's more tolerable on fucking on Conan than it is on Ark. Ark is just unfucking playable.
Yes, it is.
I mean, well, unless you play on official servers. If you play on official servers, it's not that bad. But if you rent out a server through like a third party site, which you can on like the PS4 and Xbox, it's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, I was thinking about giving Conan a shot, man. I like those kind of games.
Well, have you ever played Rust on PC?
No, I never played that.
Okay, well, it's kind of similar to that. It's more. Well, you don't have to play it this way, but like the game is really fully designed around like PvP survival, like building, kind of like Minecraft, but like done also in like a Conan style thing. It's pretty fucking brutal too as well. But I've always been a fan of those games because there's so much room for like to use your imagination on how you want to build your forts and shit. And then like the thing is like the building in Conan is just fucking ridiculously good. Like the shit that I've seen people create, man, like I'm like, holy fuck, why couldn't Ark do something like this? Because Ark's got like limitations on its building and whatever the case may be. You can only build up so high, and plus there's not like a whole lot of room for trial and error.
Right.
I mean, plus, I mean, that game is just broken PvP wise. But at least with Conan, though, man, like outside from being able to see your women's titties, which is awesome and all that, don't get me wrong, it's just like the overhaul and the combat. That game went from fucking shite to pretty goddamn good. Like I'm really enjoying it, man. So I can't wait for that launch patch to come out there first thing tomorrow morning before like the official servers come up. I can't wait, man. That's definitely a game though. I'm trying to look for somebody to play with online because
is this Conan gonna be a multiplayer or is
yeah. You can play it multiplayer. You can play it by yourself if you want to.
Okay. Well, then that's the game that, you know, either way, even if it was just campaign, I would still would have, you know, took a look at it. And,
it doesn't really have so much of a campaign per se, but like when you play by yourself, like that was the first thing that I did. I went into the game, played by myself, got an understanding of how the game, like everything works. The game is mainly all about like exploring, building, dominating, and conquering. That's the whole entire theme of it. And it's like, I forget what genre they call that. I think it's like survival building, I think. But Rust was the first game that really piqued my interest, and it was supposed to come to consoles. And then I think the devs just gave up on it and just mainly focused on the PC side because I think they put it on the back burner, which is a real shame because Rust looked fucking amazing to play, dude. And then Ark came out, and then I heard about the fucking. I was waiting for the PS4 version because at the time I didn't have an Xbox. So when I played it, I was super excited. I played the shit out of that dude. I almost lost a couple friends playing that game.
So how's the multiplayer gonna work on this game?
Basically, you can do it two ways. You can either play it through PvE wise, which is basically player versus environment. So like nobody will be able to kill you. Like other players will not be able to kill you or destroy your bases. But it's just basically the only way you can die in that game is through like the environment. So like hazardous, like sandstorms can kill you, enemies can kill you, like creatures and whatever the case may be. Or there's PvP, which obviously makes sense. People can come and like kill you, raid your base. And shit like that, which is also fucking hilarious to do, by the way. Or there's PvE conflict, which is going to be there tomorrow at launch. I think it's only on PC first. I'm not entirely sure, but basically between the hours of 5 p.m. Eastern or whatever 5 p.m. whatever like 5 o'clock is your time, p.m. till 10 o'clock p.m. your time. Basically anybody like the PvP mode is switched on. Where anybody can kill you if you're out like gathering shit. People can come up from behind you and stab you and like try to fuck you up and kill you and shit like that, dude. But overall, as a whole, it's the way the game is designed, though, man. This is the main reason why I like the game so much, man. It's because I like the fact of being able to go out and explore and like learn about like, you know, Conan lore and stuff like that. But at the same time, just fucking working my ass off to build shit and gaining something from it. But at the same time, when you meet with friends online, because you're allowed to have up to 40 people on a server. Yeah, and like at any given time. So if you wanted to have, let's say, like 10 of your friends pop in, dude, man, you can all like join your own clan, like basically just building it like an entire base, man. Just go and dominate the whole fucking land.
Okay. I want to respond to Keon real quick. Carrier, he says right here he can't wait for Ace Combat 7. Yeah, that's definitely a game. This on my radar too, especially for the VR part of it. That's a game that I haven't heard anything about the game lately, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be out this year. I'm beginning to feel like it might be an early 2019 release. We haven't heard anything yet. We haven't heard anything in a while.
Be right back, Lincoln. Bathroom calls.
What's that?
Bathroom calls.
Oh, okay. We'll be here. So I don't know. I'm looking at this Conan game. It's $50. I don't want to just jump up and spend the $50. I want to check the game out first. So I'll do what I normally do. I'll go to the local video store in my area, and I'll rent the game. And if it turns out to be pretty good, then I'll buy it.
Yeah. Well, see, it's coming out at a kind of a crazy time because I'm looking forward to Detroit Become Human, and I'm still playing God of War 2. So
damn, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, that's like right around the corner, man. It was like a couple weeks away.
Today's the 7th, and what game comes out? What, the 25th or something?
Yeah, 25th, 26th, something like that. Matter of fact, I didn't even play the demo because I said I wasn't going to, but I'm kind of itching to play it if it's still on the PlayStation Store. I'll go ahead and download it and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it any because I'm the type I could see a game and I'm like, all right, I don't need to see it no more. I already know I want it, right? So I don't watch many videos, unless they just being thrown in my face. But with this one, is there any? Because I don't know much about the game, like as far as the combat and shooting. Is it just more just detective work, or is it more you get to try to, what is it about?
See, now the demo I only played it once because I don't know how many stories are actually in the game. I've heard 3.
That's what I mean. How many? What's the end game? How many? That's what I was trying to figure out.
You got the situation with the deviant android. Took the girl hostage.
Yeah.
Then you had the situation where the abusive father, was beating his daughter, and then you had, which I think is supposed to be the overall story, where the androids was, basically rebelling against humans. I don't know if there's any more stories than that. So because of that, I only played the demo once. I do not want to play that demo and play every single possible ending and then find out that I've just played 1/3 of the entire game already.
Yeah.
So I'd rather save it for the game when it comes out. So I played the demo through once. And the demo, when I played it, I pretty much played it out exactly the way you've seen it in trailers, where when I confronted the deviant android, I was trying to do everything I could to get him to calm down and gain my trust, and then decide what I was going to do from there.
Right. Okay.
You've seen all the different, trailers and the different endings. And so I got him to calm down, and the ending that I ended up with is the ending that a lot of people have seen, where I got him to calm down and I convinced him to release the girl. And as soon as he released her, the sniper shot him.
Okay.
And he was like, "You lied to me," before he finally, shut down. But there's several different endings. But like I said, I only wanted to play that one because I didn't want to get too caught up in that demo. And then, like I said, end up finding out that might be the whole entire story. And then I just find out that I played 1/3 of the game through the demo. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, it was cool that they released the demo, but there's a part of me that kind of wish they didn't. Right. And I never thought I'd see the day come where I say I wish somebody didn't release the demo. I never thought that day would come. I mean, during the 360 generation, it was pretty much a given that just about every game that came out had a demo for it.
Right.
Demos. What demo? What's a demo? Shit.
Almost every game came in the demo.
Mm-hmm. But now, shit.
They even had those demo discs that was it was attached to the damn pre-order copy. Demo inside of the plastic.
Yeah. Yo, we used to always go into those fucking stores, man, and rip those magazine things open and steal that shit.
Steal that meat. Yeah, I did that times too.
Man, let me tell you, that first fight night that came to the Xbox 360, I think that's the one that had the one that had Bernard Hopkins on it. The one that introduced the pairing, and then in the one shot haymaker that had somebody stunned from a one shot haymaker. Man, I cannot tell you how many hours I played that demo. I played it and played it and played it. You think I would have been burnt out, from as much as I played that demo, but hell, as soon as that game came out, it was still a day one purchase. Boy, I used to be an animal in Fight Night.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of fighting, Titanfall Princess, if you ever get around to seeing this, I want my rematch because you beat the brakes off of me. Both you and King Thrash beat the shit out of me in Tekken, and I want my damn rematch.
Damn, what the fuck?
What's that?
So that day one update just came out for Conan. It's fucking 44 gigabytes.
Woo! Wow.
Spank my fucking nards.
Well, that's normal to me.
Well, hey, early access, man, to 1.0, that kind of makes sense.
Well, that's normal to me. 44 gigs.
Yeah, I gotta see how much hard drive space I got on my PS4 Pro because I'm thinking about buying another external hard drive.
Now look, I made
on my multi-platform PlayStation now.
Man, I made a huge mistake.
What's up, buddy?
I bought a Seagate external hard drive, 5 gigabytes. I went to put it on my PlayStation, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, so it did not format, to meet the PlayStation's, specifications. So I thought the thing wasn't working right, or I thought it simply wasn't compatible with the PlayStation. So I put it on my Xbox One, and I go off and buy one of those Western Digital external drives, only a 2 terabyte one. So I'm sorry. So actually, my Seagate that's on my Xbox, that's a 5 terabyte. I bought the Western Digital. This is a 2 terabyte hard drive that's on my PlayStation Pro. Now here's how ass backwards I went. My 5 terabyte Seagate is on my Xbox One, and I have about 20 games on my Xbox One. My 2 terabyte Western Digital is on my PlayStation Pro, which I have about 150 games on that console.
You can't switch it back?
I don't want to run the risk of because like the way it is now, see that PlayStation Pro is a 1 terabyte console. And I think all my games total up to more than 1 terabyte. I think all my games total up to like 1.5 terabytes or something like that. Jesus. So what I'm concerned about is that if I switch them, I might have to re-download them again.
Yeah, that's a lot of storage, man. If you primarily play on PlayStation, man, so I would look into that.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is because the games that are like I got my PlayStation set to whenever I download anything, it goes directly to the external hard drive, and so like I said, I think I've already used up like 1.4 terabytes of space on that external. So what I'm saying is there's no way I can move all those games back to the hard drive on the Pro because there's more space than the Pro has.
Right.
So that's where I'm going with that. If I could just move all those games back to the console itself, then yeah, I would easily switch them. But somewhere along the way, since there's more games than space on the console, somewhere along the way, I'm gonna have to re-download some of that shit.
Holy fuck, dude.
A lot of work, man.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right though. I think it's gonna come to a head where I ain't gonna have a choice though.
Yeah, you're gonna have to delete some stuff and just do it all over, man. Just delete stuff that you're not gonna play or don't care to re-download right away, and just
and switch that shit back.
Switch it up, yeah.
But yeah, it's sooner or later I'm gonna have to address that because with Detroit Become Human coming, it's just like, man, the list goes on and on and on of PlayStation games that's gonna be coming out. So there's no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna have to address this situation more sooner than later because I think with a 2 terabyte external hard drive, I think I'm probably gonna run out of space before this year is up.
Yeah.
With all the games I'm planning on buying.
You know what you could do? Lincoln, if I may,
Mhm.
given the fact that you're talking about like with external hard drives, whatever you want to call it. Why not do this? Because this was something I was thinking about doing because I have like fucking almost close to 400 games on my PS4 that I own digitally wise.
Mhm.
So eventually I'm gonna want to get a couple, like maybe two at most, two terabyte hard drive fucking external drives for my PS4. What I'm planning on doing is to make my life a lot more easier. Is put like a piece of paper over top of the hard drive, and I'm gonna write down every game that I have fucking that I download to that hard drive. So that way I know that when I look at that hard drive, I'm like, okay, so I want to play this game now. So I'm going to plug this into my PS4 and off I go and play it. Don't have to worry about reinstalling it. Don't have to worry about re-downloading it. It's already there, ready to go. At least that way, it would kind of almost like what I used to do back in the day when my mom used to like record VHSs illegally. We all did that back in the day.
Well, let me stop you right there. So are you telling me that the PlayStation will support more than one hard drive?
No, I'm saying like for USB hard drives, right? I'm pretty sure fucking you can use more than one fucking external hard drive. Maybe not at the same time, but I know you can switch them in and out if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I meant. So yeah, let's say this external hard drive, this 2 terabyte external hard drive, I fill it up. I can unplug it and then plug another one into it.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. all you got to do is like when that one's filled up or getting close to being filled up and you can't put any more games on it, just write down every game that you downloaded, that's going to be on that hard drive, and like just put it on put on top of the hard drive. Just put a piece like a rubber band around it, whatever the case would be. So that way, you can always put that to the side for a later day. They continue downloading all the rest of your games on a secondary hard drive and shit like that. Because I know that there, believe it or not, there were people, if I remember correctly, that did the same thing too as well on the Xbox 360 last generation when they bought like 120 gig hard drives.
Mm-hmm.
And people that went digital, that's what they would do. They would swamp out the hard drives. They would buy multiple ones and then swamp them out for like different games that they had installed already on those fucking hard drives and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But there are bigger ones though.
Like Ryan said that I can still get a larger internal hard drive too. That's true. But the whole point of all this is that I got a 5 terabyte hard drive on my Xbox that's got all that extra space and is not being used because I only have about 20 games on my Xbox. So I think only like less than a terabyte is being used on that external hard drive. I still got 4 terabytes of space. And since I don't plan on buying any more games on that Xbox, I just got wasted space just sitting there.
Hold your horses now. Hold your horses. E3 ain't here yet. Wait for Phil. Whoa.
Whoa.
Get all kind of games being announced.
Yeah. Now, let me stop you right there. Anything that they're going to show us at E3 isn't going to hit till 2019, 2020. That is my belief. I believe that whatever they're showing us, I believe that this year's E3, they're going to put together a bunch of trailers just to shut everybody up. Because Microsoft, since they jump on Twitter and shit like that, they are well aware that a lot of people are threatening to leave Xbox if they don't show something at E3. So I believe that as we speak, there's probably games that's not even in development right now. All they did was just put together a trailer just so they can show it at E3 and say that it's coming. And we may not even actually see the game.
I know people who don't even care about E3. They just said it's taking a road trip anyway. They don't even care. They've seen enough of what PlayStation doing to warrant
my thing is, okay, so for the people that said this year for E3 is do or die, they better show me something this year or I'm gone. Okay, so what if they show you like 50 games, but you ain't going to see them till 2020, 2021? What are you going to do? You going to hang on to your Xbox One X for some games that's not even geared towards that console?
At least I know it's hope. It's something. They got something planned. I don't know, man. I know it's something to look forward to. And I don't care. I have a PlayStation anyway, so it's not like I don't need it today.
This is the bottom line, man. There's no more AAA exclusives coming this generation for the Xbox. So for those of you who bought an Xbox One X expecting to see some more exclusives this generation, I just don't think it's going to happen. The bottom line is that console is a third-party console. I think that what it was meant to be.
So basically, you're saying I got a decision to make. Either I'm gonna keep it and use it as a third-party console, or get rid of it. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. I'm not saying that, but if you want to,
I need counseling, man. I need some help on this.
If you want to take it that way, I'm not saying. Now, I do have one question.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, Savage. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it, man. We'll see you later. Have a good night. The Xbox One S does the HDR are games supported by the HDR on the Xbox One S?
They are right. Yeah. You said some games support. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Okay. The game, the Xbox One S. I was under the impression that a lot of those games are still in 1080p, but some of the games are in HDR. Is that true?
I think it is true. Yeah, I would say so. If they got the HDR, yeah, I think the S can support HDR.
Now, if I could catch one on sale, if I could catch an Xbox One S, catch somebody selling one for $150 or something like that, I might be willing to buy one of those. Just because I will admit, man, that the HDR, even though the TVs that I have don't have HDR10, whatever manner of HDR that the TV has, it still looks good. And so I got a 4K TV in my bedroom that supports HDR, and I'm not getting any use out of the 4K part of the TV because I have a standard Xbox One in my bedroom. I'm not gonna keep moving my Pro from TV to TV. So, with that being said, I might be willing to buy an Xbox One S if I were to be able to catch one for $150. You got one you want to sell, Fatal?
For what?
An Xbox One S.
No, sir. I'm good.
Actually,
although I will say this for the record, though, if for some sheer fucked up reason that Microsoft doesn't actually show any single one game that I want to play this year at E3, this box might be kicking rocks. Maybe we'll see, but I don't know, man. I mean, look, the thing is, man, I mean, I'm a gamer at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck what platform I play these games on. I really don't care. Yeah. I go mainly for the cheaper route, though. And that's the reason why I bought Conan on the Xbox over PS4, because PS4 was charging me $66 for it. And I only had to pay fucking $55 for mine on Xbox.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So it does give me a reason, and on top of that too is why. And like I said before, but I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you there. Like you might already know this though, but that's another reason why I adore Game Pass as a service. Not that I condone it 100%, but I like it for me, especially where I live in Canada. You know, because of our prices are being so high, so it's difficult for me. Like say for example, like this month, right, with Detroit, you know, Become Human fucking comes out, and along with fucking Save Decay. I would have had to drop a fucking $8 on Detroit, and then additional fucking 40 plus tax for fucking Save Decay if I wanted to get both those games if Game Pass never existed, or if it did, never had the ability for their first party games to go on. So at the same time, meanwhile, I only have to pay $10. Well, actually, I only have to pay $6 this month. Thank you, Microsoft, for that, you fuckers. I don't have to worry about paying for Save Decay now. I can play the game and enjoy it. Meanwhile, I can put my money and focus on fucking Detroit when that game comes out.
Yeah.
As we speak, right now, Gunru, I'm looking at Craigslist and seeing what some of the going rates are. Whoa.
This is my thing. Like, how much I'm gonna really get for the X-Men? I don't really want to take a hit on it either, you know, because everybody caught on.
I think you can get $300 trade at GameStop.
I hate GameStop.
You'll be both, brother.
I hate them bastards. I don't care if they offer me $400. I'll tell them to kiss my ass. That's how bad I hate GameStop.
I don't like them either.
I wouldn't even give them the satisfaction. Take my road trip to them.
Here, fine.
Love to see if a stripper wants an Xbox One X.
I've got, as fucked up as that sounds, I got GameStop app on my phone. and I'm getting ready to look it up right now and see what the trade value is. Xbox 1 terabyte. You know, you got the Project Scorpio edition, don't you?
No, I got the regular one. Remember,
Oh shit, man, they fucking people up.
What they giving? $200?
$250
in what I'm saying?
$250 in-store credit or $200 cash. Man, they prying people's asses open and sticking it to them.
They're gonna sell it for $450.
That's for over here where I live in Kitchener. There, I'm curious to see what they're selling it for over there.
They're gonna sell it for $480, $498.
No, well, I mean, used stuff they never go that fucking far. At least I hope they don't.
So let me see what the trade-in value is on a Pro. They got the God of War edition here. Damn, boy, man, fuck that. Listen to this. A PlayStation 4 trade value is $180 in-store credit and $144 cash value.
Wow, unbelievable.
That, to me, that PlayStation Pro is worth more than the Xbox One X because you can still play the same multiplats as you can play on the Xbox One X, and then you still have all the options of the Sony exclusives that's over there. So right now, the PlayStation Pro is worth more than the X to me. $144. They lost their fucking minds.
Yo, check this out. You want to see something fucking crazy?
What's that?
I'll share my screen so you can see. Okay, so Kijiji is kind of like our hometown's fucking Craigslist, right? Look at the price of this, right? Now, before you shit yourself, there's obviously a shit ton of stuff that comes with it, but that's the guy's offering price, right? $1,200, right? Now remember, Xbox One X Project Scorpio bundle, $1,200, right? This is what he gets with it, right? This is the console, Scorpio Edition controller, Xbox One Elite controller, Scruff modified, power cable, HDMI cable, like that really comes with it. We already know that. Carrying case for Elite controller, Forza 7 game disc with Steelbook, Overwatch game disc, Call of Duty World War II game disc with Steelbook, Destiny 2 with Steelbook, goddamn, Assassin's Creed Origins with Steelbook, Guitar Hero Live game disc plus 2 guitars, Logitech G920 steering wheel with manual shifter and pedals, virtual stand for the Xbox One X, Astro fucking A50s with bass. Aside from the rarity of the Scorpio Edition console, this entire setup would cost around $2,200 if you were to buy it in the store today. Feel free to contact for more picture information. Also, blah 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 bullshit. All that for $1,200. $1,200. Yeah. Yo.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Actually, let me look into that Logitech G29, that G920. Let me look into that wheel real quick.
Yeah. See what the base price of that is.
Okay, let me go to Newegg and look for that because
this guy's selling an Xbox One. It's the original fat model. You can easily tell by it. With 8 games and 1 controller. No, what games do you got on this motherfucker, bitch? Tell me what games you got. Comes with 8 games, including Fallout 4, the Halo Saga, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Battlefield 4, etc. Price is firmed at $300 with all 8 games. No one's gonna buy $800 fucking or a $300 fat Xbox model. Get the fuck out of here, son. What the fuck you take me for?
Man.
See here, G920. Oh shit!
How much is that worth?
The wheel by itself is $262. The wheel with the pedals and the shifter is $359.
Yeah, so I mean, $1,200 actually isn't that bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah. When you add in all that stuff that he gives you, plus the console itself, and it being the actual Scorpio, you know what I mean? Like, and also in Canadian dollars, yeah, that's actually kind of a good deal. That's not bad.
But riddle me this: you get that Logitech G29 wheel. Yo, Andre 6K, what's going on, brother? Thanks for the sub. I saw that you subbed to my channel today. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Damn, look at you going, man. You were at 100, like 2 days ago. Now you're at 122. Look at you go, brother.
Yeah.
Congrats, my guy.
I appreciate it, but I still can't. take that all in without, thanking everybody who played a part in it. You, Sick, Titanfall Princess, King Thrash, Xbox Vidiot. I mean, the list goes on and on. So many people have been a part of this. So I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
And it's like I said, I've already accomplished my goal as far as I'm concerned. I just wanted to have enough subscribers, or as King Thrash puts it, I just wanted to have enough homies that I can interact with everybody, that I can go and do a stream and have a conversation, with the viewers, because they can come up with some interesting questions to keep the stream going. So
yeah, no, I'm with you on that too as well, because that was my also end goal too as well. Sadly, I just got mixed in the wrong crowd at the wrong time.
So where were we at? I know I was just.
We were talking about that price thing, and you said fucking.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Okay, so you buy that wheel for $359 over on the Xbox side. You've got Forza, and I think you've got
Forza Horizon 3. I think also is compatible with it too as well.
Okay, so you probably got about 3 or 4 different racing games you can play with it. But
I'm pretty sure you can also use that same thing. I'm sure. I'm not 100% sure it's compatible with backwards compatibility 360 titles. I'm not entirely sure, but.
It might be, because I bought a Thrustmaster T150, and it has a switch on there to switch back and forth between the PS3 and the PS4.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's fucking dope. All right, well, that's pretty cool. Man, like I said, for $1,200 though, man. I mean, yeah, it sounds like a lot of money, yeah. But I mean, with everything that he's given you, I mean, shit, that's not too bad. Plus, he's also giving you a stereo system on top of that. Which is,
as far as the games go, the games hold no interest to me because.
Yeah.
Because they're not exclusive. Right?
Yeah. It's not multiplats outside of Forza. Well, actually, no, because even that's on PC. Yeah, man.
None of the games are exclusives. So I wouldn't be interested in the game. So I would have to knock them down a few bucks. Let me go ahead and give you the 600, man.
It's like, yo, I'll give you like $750 for the wheel. No, I would probably say, like, if you take those games out, man, he'll probably end up like lowering that down. But more than likely, people like that are like, no, I want it to be a whole entire bundle.
Ryan Landis, I definitely want to tell you, I almost bought the Thrustmaster T. I think it's a T80 or something like that. That wheel was only $100. I was about to buy that wheel until I did the research and found out that the wheel did not have force feedback. I don't care what brand it is.
Force feedback on a wheel like that.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't care what brand it is, and I don't care how much it costs. If it doesn't have force feedback, there's no point in buying it because the force feedback is telling you what the car is doing.
Hey, yo, Art. Is that what the other guy's name is in here? Is Art,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yo, hey, you want to see something? Let me show you this, man. Let me show you fucking like just one example of like the buildings and shit that you can do in Conan. Look at this shit. Somebody and like him and his friends built this whole entire fucking city.
Holy shit.
That's on the Conan game.
That's on the Conan game. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. In this Conan game, can clans or whatever come in and try to take that over? Yeah.
If you play on PvP, yeah, people will try to raid you and shit. But at the same time, this is where the game also gets more interesting too. And I forgot to mention this earlier, is we're like an arc where you had to like tame dinosaurs and whatever you want to call it and shit like that for like backup for yourself in order to fight out people. In this game here, you get these things, they're called thralls, aka they're technically called slaves, but they're called thralls. Any of the NPC fucking barbarians that you happen to see, like some of them will be archers, fighters, priests, or certain things, right? You can assign them to different fucking things that you build in your place, or you can have them defend your base.
So are you telling me this is like a real-time strategy game then?
No. It kind of's got little tiny elements like that, but it plays nothing like that. You can play it in first person or third person.
Okay. Yeah, man.
You can build a lot of amazing shit in this game, dude. Like some of the things that I've seen in this game, dude, just blew my fucking mind, man. I was like, what? How was that even possible?
That's not what I expected. Wow.
Yeah, well, thank God. I mean, the only thing I will say, although you won't be able to see this unless you change your region to UK, I was going to say, because this game here is the first game that I ever seen that actually has penis physics. It's scary. It's scary. It's really fucking scary. Like, wow. Oh my God. So like literally, and I'm not trying to sound disgusting, but like literally at the time when the game launched, before the ESRB came in and forced them to only do partial nudity, you can literally sit there and teabag people and literally, you get the idea.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into deep.
You know, that's fucked up because even my 12-year-old son know what teabagging is.
And the funny thing is too, as well, like the map is huge too. Like it's like when it first came out, there was like a little small section of the map, and then like now it's like it's been completely open now. So there's like a desert area, there's a forest area, there's a snowy area, volcano area, and there's also a swamp area as well. It's fucking crazy.
Well, it's like I said when you taking the bathroom break. I was saying that I'll go to my local video store and rent the game when it comes out. Then
yeah, I mean, now mind you, like the graphics aren't gonna blow your mind. They're not like fucking super top notch, but like it's for what it is. It's kind of graphic too as well, man. Like you can like literally cut people in half and stuff, dude, with your combos and your moves and shit, dude. It's fucking nasty,
okay.
Yeah.
I think given where we're at right now and as far in the generation, I think graphics are about as good as you can expect. I mean,
yeah.
When I was looking at that Yakuza demo yesterday, the graphics was pretty good. You know, it wasn't standout. It wasn't I think just where we're at now in this generation, a lot of the games look good. I mean, just they do, even unless it's PUBG, of course, but a lot of the
no, this game looks better than PUBG. I can promise you that. This game looks better than PUBG.
Man, that I swear to God, man, that's like, you know how you go to the store and you like buy a box of cereal and then you get like that extra 20% free. You see that yellow stripe on the top of the box that says extra 20% free.
Lures you in there, yeah. It lures by that shit. Yeah,
that's what the fuck, man. That's what the fuck Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 should be. You know,
you know what really makes me sad though, Lincoln, man, is the fact that that game got promoted with Chips Ahoy cookies, man. And I mean, you no word of a fucking lie. I'll show you a picture. Watch. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
All right,
Chips Ahoy promoted that game and gave away like DLC for that game and shit.
No shit.
That's sad.
No word of a motherfucking lie. Check this out. Let me share screen my shit here again. Although I haven't seen them at my store, but yeah, they exist. There you go. Free in-game content. Say hey. Chips Ahoy. I'm so disappointed in that brand, dude. I'm so disappointed in that brand.
Oh my goodness.
I hadn't seen it all with Microsoft.
Got it in there for a chance to win an Xbox One X.
Yeah, you saw that too right at the end of it. Yeah.
Man, fucking Taco Bell got me, man. They probably got about $30 out of me,
here's the
man.
thing though, Lincoln, right? Like, I mean, you know that I spent a lot of time playing that game and semi-defending it, if I can be honest with everybody. A lot of people know that I can't deny the fact that I was semi-defending it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I finally got to the grind part, dude, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore, man. It's fucking trash. But my question is this, man. It's like, what the fuck kind of mindset was Microsoft thinking? Microsoft had to have seen this game, obviously, you know, coming close to launch, clearly, because they're not going to allow a game to get released, you know, fucking in a certain state. But clearly I was wrong. But what I'm saying is that Microsoft fucking saw this game and said, yeah, this is good enough for launch. Let's release this game at launch the way that it is. And I don't understand, like, maybe the way Rare broke the game down to Microsoft, yeah, it's not, yeah, you know, that's enough people to do. It's like, what the fuck, Microsoft? It's like, no, bro, you have more content in fucking Halo 5 than you do in fucking Sea of Thieves, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but the Kraken, as well as that situation when Forza 7 with that bullshit ass pit stop that you saw in the game, that tells me that Microsoft has been meddlesome every step of the way. I feel like Microsoft, like whenever Turn 10 was probably developing Forza 7, whoever was at that computer, I literally feel like there was a Microsoft representative standing right over their shoulder what they doing on the computer. No. Take that out. Take that out. We don't want that.
Right. Yo, you ever wondered if that was the case? But I think here's what I really honestly truly think what happened is I think that originally Sea of Thieves or Rare wanted to create a free-to-play game for Microsoft. And this was going to be the game. Now, if this game was free to play, no one would have ever said shit. No one would have cared. You know what I mean? Because free to play games, a lot of the time, free to play games will launch in very minimum states, and then fucking they improve as time goes on. That's how free to play games develop, right? Or well, also in early access, but early access and free to play too as well. But sadly, that's never the case. Steam is guilty of that too, so I can't just point fingers at Microsoft. I want to make that clear. Secondly, though, I firmly believe that this game was originally intended to be a free to play game, but Microsoft thought to themselves that if Rare was going to release an actual thing, because Rare is a big name company, despite the fact that we hate modern Rare or not, Rare is fucking Rare. We know who Rare is. We know their past.
Right.
So maybe, according to Microsoft, they had thought that, you know what, maybe by fucking having, we don't want to have Rare release a game that's going to be fucking free to play because consumers are going to devaluate fucking Rare as a company and think that they don't have the talent anymore to create something that Rare is known to make outside from Connect garbage that nobody fucking played. Outside maybe Connect Sports, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, fucking next. But anyways, yeah, so what they did was they decided to not bother with the free to play because clearly if you play the game as long as I have, that game screams fucking free to play. The cosmetic items proves it, the lack of content proves it, and best of all, the traditional standard fucking grind that you come to expect from free to play games. That's just common. But yet they decided to sit there and say, hey, you know what? We don't want to devaluate Rare's fucking legacy. We're going to slap $60 on this motherfucker. And it's like, no, you dumbasses. What the fuck you guys doing? That game shouldn't release as a free-to-play game. Shit, Sony's getting one. Wild got turned into an open world fucking, it's now an open world MMO.
Shit. I honestly believe that Microsoft just wanted to find a way to monetize that game and said, fuck that. No, we're going to try to find a way to monetize this game.
That could be also, yeah, that could be true too as well. Yeah.
No, $60 is the cost of admission.
Yeah, no, to me, what they should have done is Sea of Thieves should have released as a game preview for $30. I would have been okay with that. 20 for you guys, 30 for me.
Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought until I seen that my son used a $60 gift card and bought the game. I thought it was
oh shit, yo.
I was like, man, really? You sure about that, son?
How much does he play the game?
Not at all. And matter of fact, I asked him on the way after we seen the Avengers movie. I said, son, what are you gonna play tonight? Because I know he was ready to go home and game. He haven't played all day. Oh, I'm gonna play Fortnite with my friends. And I said, let me ask you a question. Do you like Sea of Thieves? Because I'm still mad about the $6 gift card. Oh, yeah. I like it. But my friends, we just like Fortnite better. We just play that a lot. I'm like, oh, you don't really like the game, son. You just don't want to make me disappoint me because you know.
Yeah.
You already know, man. I cannot believe that game was $60 after I watched them play it.
I truly wanted to give that game a shot because I was like, you know what, man, fuck it. I the lack of content wasn't really a bothersome thing because I can easily admit to that with No Man's Sky, and that's like one of my favorite games this generation, hands down. For my own purposes, of course, I'm not going to defend that. But the thing of it is, like, the game has potential. Right now, it's a bare bone canvas right now.
Yeah,
and I know that this game is going to get better as time goes on. Fingers crossed. So. I wanted to get better down the road. And I'm glad that I didn't invest $60 into that shit because I would have been livid. Even though I would have definitely got my money's worth out of it, the amount of time I spent on it, thanks to fucking Game Pass. But still, the fact of the matter remains, man, like when you got a Kraken like that, that's lacking. And I love that fucking term, by the way. That's never to get old.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, like, you're charging $60 of people's hard-earned work and money, charging me alone. I would have had to pay $90 of tax for that motherfucker for the base game, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Canadian wise.
That's nuts.
Imagine how pissed you would have been if Game Pass was never a thing, or let's say Game Pass was there, but those games were never day and date, and you dropped $90 in that motherfucker because I was almost going to if it wasn't for that aspect of Game Pass, dude. You would have been fucking livid. You would have been heated that I dropped $90 in that filth.
Yeah, and I have it too because we game share, and I haven't played it one time.
Like I said, no, like driving around your ship, dude, man, is fucking incredible, right? For its own right. But that goes over time. That just, that you get that fun factor like out fairly quickly on. It's when you get into the meat and potato of the grind and like the content, it's the same shit the whole entire game. Now, to be fair, but this is just my perspective. I don't mind games that are that hardcore repetitive because I played Dynasty Wars. Dynasty Wars is the exact same thing throughout the entirety of every game in the franchise, right? And I love that series to death. So the grind, not the grind, so the repetitive nature, I can deal with that. But it's the grind that kills me for it, or kills it for me, I should say. That's a better way of saying it. God damn, what the fuck is wrong with me tonight? And that's what did it for me, because the fact is when I sat there and I tested out the theory and like I wanted to like, you know what? Let me hand in 30 goddamn chests, right? All different variations, hot, like top tier ones, low tier ones. And my fucking bar went from fucking 32 to maybe a quarter fucking of the bar for rep for handing in like 30 chests. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. This is fucking retarded. Which is why now there's only been like 3 people so far that finally got to the end, like to that main goal of becoming a pirate legend. And that was it. Most people will never see that because the grind is so fucking bad. It's so tedious, man. It's horribly designed. Horribly designed. If they ever lowered that, or it didn't take as long, or they decided to cut that down in half, then maybe I would easily go back and finish that off and be like, fuck it, I'm done, right? You know what I mean? But no, I can't do that grind. It's so fucking tedious, man. There's only so many times I can shoot myself out of a cannon with a goddamn chest and say, fuck it, I'm done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fuck that shit, man. It's just, nah, man. But it does have potential, though, Lincoln. Honestly, it does. It's just a real shame that it launched in that state, and that game is never going to recover from that, which is a real fucking shame. But thankfully, with games like what happened with No Man's Sky, that game still has a lot of negative rep, but there's also a lot more people coming back every update, especially when this new update comes out with Next being their biggest update, and when synchronization multiplayer comes in, that game is going to see a huge fucking sale boost, man. You can mark my words on that. You're going to see a huge sale boost in that game.
What was I going to say? Oh, some people probably might criticize me for being cosmetic, but
nah, man.
I definitely plan on trying that Skull and Bones because
yes,
the realistic graphics, the attention to detail on those ships. I'm definitely planning on giving that game a try.
Is that the Ubisoft game?
Yeah, it's Ubisoft.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
You seen some
That
gameplay for it yet, though?
Good. I want to try it out too.
Yeah, that game combat-wise looks pretty fucking epic, man. Like I like the way that game is designed. I was watching that preview build that came out after E3 last year, and I was like, holy fuck, this looks mint. Like it looks pretty promising. Now, I'm not a fan of Assassin's Creed, but I can admit, like, I mean, me when it comes to pirates, man, look, man, fucking, I don't care whatever my age is, man, I fucking love pirates. So, and I think that's the reason why I stuck with Sea of Thieves for so long. If Sea of Thieves was never a fucking pirate themed game, I would have dropped that game and snapped my finger. But I love themed pirate related things, man.
1 second here. Yeah, but I mean, like, if Sea of Thieves were to look like Skull and Bones, I would have given it a shot. And that's why I was saying that people might criticize me for being cosmetic because, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could conceivably try both Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones, and gameplay wise, they could be the exact same games, but I would still gravitate towards Skull and Bones because of the realistic graphics, because of the realistic art style.
Yeah. Now, I don't have any issue with art styles like what Sea of Thieves did. I'm more of a sucker towards those, but I don't ignore those type of games like what Skull and Bones or what Uncharted does, or that kind of stuff like that. I like playing both, but I don't know, just for whatever reason, like when I'm playing, like the whole entire kitty aspect of like, oh, it looks cartoony, that never pops into my head once, because I don't look at the game like that. Depending on what, like Borderlands, for example, right? Like most people, like Borderlands was never supposed to look like the way that we have played it now. Like it was supposed to look more dark and gritty, but then they changed it because I guess performance wise, whatever the case may be. But then the cell shading thing turned off a few people, because I remember this vividly last gen, that when Borderlands 1 first came out, I was like, why does this game look like a cartoon? I don't want to play this shit. It's like, it's called cell shading, motherfucker. Get over it. But that's the thing. Like it didn't bother me because that game was still graphic in its own way. It's just done more in a cartoon kind of way. There was a game, Lincoln. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it or played it. It's called 13. That was on GameCube last gen and PS2, I believe. It was also, I believe, it was on PC too. I could be wrong, but I remember playing the GameCube version of it. That was a Suda 51 game, if I'm not mistaken. That game was done like a comic book. It played like a comic book. It had sections that felt like a comic book too as well, but it was graphic as shit though. I think it was that one. I could be wrong. Or maybe it was that, maybe it was, I'm not sure if it was 13 or if it was XX. I think it was 13, I think it was called. I think it was 13. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
But I'm led to believe these cars. Well, let me put it this way. With the Xbox One X, I question just how much that console can handle.
Yeah, no. And for very good reasons. I mean, Far Cry 5, but I mean, honestly, Far Cry 5 does not look visually impressive. At least not into the levels of God of War. I mean, granted, it's open world. People will debate that, but I've seen, like, look at what Witcher 3 fucking did. And that's an open world game.
Is the game having performance issues?
What, Far Cry 5 or God of War?
Yeah. Far Cry 5.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't played it, and I'll never touch that game.
Well, see, one thing that seemed to be apparent to me when the Xbox One X first came out is the higher the resolution, the more the game struggles to perform.
Yes, I heard that too. Yeah, and it's still like that from what I hear.
And so that leads me to believe that's one of the reasons why we're seeing these cartoony looking games coming from Microsoft, because I'm led to believe that, when you stop and think about it, since the Xbox One X launched, going back all the way back to when Cuphead launched, the only Microsoft exclusives that have realistic looking graphics is Forza. And that's not a physically demanding game.
Well, and Gears. Don't forget about Gears.
Now I'm talking about since the Xbox One X launched.
Oh.
Because like Gears, all they did was they just put some turtle wax on it.
No, I'll say
because the game was already built for the Xbox One. So there's no reason why the Xbox One X shouldn't have been able to handle that game.
Let me show you something. I don't think it has nothing to do with the fact of like Microsoft going a lot more towards these kiddie type kind of games. And I'll tell you why. Do you remember a game called Gigantic?
No.
Okay. This was the game that Microsoft showed off very, very early on. I think it was like in 2014. I remember seeing it in 2015, but it might have been before that though. This is what the game looked. Yeah, I'm showing it on my screen right now.
Yeah.
And Gigantic fucking was a game when it came out. It looks exactly like that. It looks very cartoony, fucking whatever the case would be, right? And although sadly it's not around anymore because they got shut down as a free-to-play game because nobody fucking played on Xbox. Curse you, Xbox, because I actually enjoyed the concept of that game. I don't think it has anything to do with that, with Microsoft trying to sheer or hide away from the power of the X. I just think it's because the fact that there hasn't been a stellar IP that Microsoft can produce right now that to really show off the power of that console. I get what you're saying because everything that like Lucky's Tale, Crackdown 3, State of Decay doesn't do anything for the X. Sea of Thieves is cartoony wise. Darwin Project is cartoony wise. Same with Deep Rock Galactic, Oblitz, and a lot of the games they showed off during E3 last year before the X actually officially came out looked kind of like it had more of like a cartoony aspect, less realistic approach. Let's just say that. So I can totally get where you're coming from, but I really don't think that's the case because to be quite honest, Microsoft has been making these types of games now since even well into like fucking early on last generation. Remember Viva Pinata?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely remember that game. That was one of the games that prompted me to have to get a second 360 because I was still with my son's mother. And she went and bought that game, and she used to play that game day and night.
That game actually wasn't that bad. I think Viva Pinata actually is a very underrated game in my opinion because I was recently playing that when I bought Rare Replay. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, this game is not that bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's just the fact that it's pinatas, right? So a lot of people.
It wasn't for me, but
I get your because I know what you value in as far as your taste goes, but
right,
yeah, it just I've always looked at it and like every time when I see a game. Like if it's not indirectly made by one of Microsoft Studios, then I can I guess in a way, I'm kind of not really quite understanding that whole entire analogy about like them mainly focusing on cell shaded type kind of games. Sea of Thieves definitely brings that to the table, obviously, the same with Crackdown. So I easily see where you're coming from, but I'm guarantee you that's not the case. They're banking on the fact that they want third parties to fucking put more of an effort into making these games look better on the X over the Pro. And even though third parties aren't really making humongous demanding games per se that make them like on the graphical level of say what Sony's first parties can do with like Uncharted, Last of Us, and so or a la fucking God of War now. That's why a lot of people are would easily think that. You know what I mean? But I guarantee you, if there was a game, say like Metro Last Light, if Metro Exodus, sorry, if that game comes out and that game looks as good as what we saw at the E3 trailer, I doubtful on the X, but we'll see. But at least somewhat close to that, though, then I think that's going to be the game that's going to finally show off what the X can do, in my opinion. But I could be wrong because most people don't really give a shit about games like Metro because that's the niche title. They want to see something from Microsoft's first-party studios to really enhance that X and take advantage of that power. And so far, Microsoft hasn't done it yet.
I agree, but I'm just led to believe that if Microsoft would have put out a game on the level of Gears of War in terms of graphics and resolution,
yes.
I think they would not have been able to make a game like that without checkerboarding it. I don't think they would have been able to
I agree with
make a game like that in native 4K.
Not native, that wouldn't be no true 4K shit. That would be checkerboard for sure.
It would have been it would have been dynamic or checkerboarded, but it would not have been native.
See, the problem with the X is, man, and this is where they fucked up with the X. Yeah, some games, depending on if it's more GPU dependent, if it's more GPU dependent, man, no problem. But the moment that a developer makes a game for that, or do like the Xbox enhancements, but it's more CPU inbound, that's where the bottleneck relies on right there. Is the CPU. That CPU is a fucking bottleneck, man.
Yeah. And so when you got games like when you had the ongoing list of games that had frame drops and screen tears and stuff like that, it just made me believe that that's one of the reasons why we're not going to see too many, we definitely not going to see any God of War looking games coming out of Microsoft this generation.
Oh, hell no. Well, I mean, I want to say that you're wrong on that, dude, but the way things are going right now, I'm easily fucking going to agree with you on that. I want to be proven wrong on that, I should say. Not that I want to sit there and say, I want to say that you're wrong, but I would like to have both of us be proven wrong at this point. I think everybody for that matter will be proven wrong.
I mean, hell, a cartoon, a comic book looking game like Crackdown 3, all the problems that shit still having. Do you really? That's crazy. Do you really think that's possible this year at E3? They're going to show us something that's going to come out this year. Something that looks as good as Spider-Man. You think they're going to give us something like that this year?
No. The only way they be able to do that is unless they made like a third-party exclusive deal behind the scenes with another developer that is on the works. And who knows? For all we know, I'm just speculating here, and I know this is not going to happen, people, so relax, but I'm just going to throw something out there and see if it sticks to the wall. Since Microsoft fucking doesn't have anything as far as like to compete with, say, games like Spider-Man, what's to say that Microsoft could have went to Rocksteady and say, hey, I want to make a deal with you guys working on whatever the fuck DC game they're working on, and fucking could be Superman or whatever the case may be. It's like, yo, we'll give you enough money. We'll throw enough money at you guys to make it a console exclusive. Just throwing that out there, maybe. But that's the only way they're going to be able to achieve that, though.
And that's the crazy part. They didn't.
Their own first party.
Microsoft didn't have to build any studios to put out these first party games. They could have went ahead and paid somebody like, just like Sony's paying Insomniac to do Spider-Man, because Insomniac considers themselves a third party. They consider themselves a third party studio. Sony just paid them to do a game. Microsoft could have easily done that shit because they got long pockets.
Now, here's the thing. Microsoft may have already done that, but it won't be something that we won't see until fucking way later on down the line.
Yeah, but to me, it feels like it took everybody screaming that we want some games for Microsoft to get up off their ass to stip doing it. I think
it's no Lincoln at the end of the day, because after all, we do vote for our wallet, right? So we can say the exact same thing in the term of if we have a loud enough voice amongst gamers to sit there and demand better for a platform, they are going to listen.
Mm-hmm. Now look, check this out.
What's up, dude?
What's up? What's up? I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be in here, J Wags, but if you want to jump in, matter of fact, there's already a link at your Twitter. So
yo, I need to hear that fucking sexy J Wags voice, bro. I haven't heard.
So if you want to jump in there, the link is already there because I sent it as soon as this podcast started. Now, whatever plans Microsoft might have, to me, I find it to be a coincidence that when people started hollering, we want exclusives, we want a roadmap, we want this and we want that, and 2018 was getting off to a great start for Sony. Now Microsoft, now all of a sudden it's like we committed to first party. Now we committed to this. Now we committed to that. To me, it seems like
their first fraction of a second. I'm not gonna lie. That was kind of creepy. Anyways, go on.
The fact that when people started screaming about this shit, and that's how they responded, to me, it looks like, okay, we got to say something, before the inmates get ready to try to take over the prison. We got to say something to try to calm them down. And to me, that's what this shit looks like to me.
Going back to, remember back, I think it was in, what month was it? I forget. I think it was right around the closing time, early January or whatever. I forget what month it is. Remember when that rumor started? That because there was a picture that was on Coalition's website, and they said that they were like one of their active project was a new Xbox One IP. Remember that shit? And then Microsoft came out and denied that and said no, Coalition is not working on a new IP. Mm-hmm. Everybody automatically thought like that was the end of it. Right, but yet the funny thing is when people it completely ignores that that's just the PR stuff. You know what I mean? Like people, like all developers do that all the time. They always come out and deny these rumors, and then when the time does come, those games actually do exist. They just didn't want people to fucking, because that's not supposed to be out there. I think fucking Coalition is working on fucking either a new Perfect Dark or whatever the case may be. And but better yet, they'll turn 10, for example, right? Because since now this time around it's whoever's making fucking Horizon this year. The other company is the one that's going to be responsible for making Fable. And you know that Fable is definitely in the works because Phil Spencer already confirmed it. Now, what I want to see, though, if it is going to be a new Fable and if it's going to be a reboot to the franchise, knock that shit out of the fucking park. If you want to bring back that game and make it like do some justice, man, bring that motherfucker back, make it look extremely good, take advantage of that fucking Xbox One X, and show people, man, like fucking that the Xbox can give you good shit. I want Fable to come back. That franchise had so much potential. It just sucks that you had fucking Peter Molyneux talking so much shit and not delivering on his crap. So take that franchise and reboot it, but make it fucking right. But at the same time, dude, man, give people a reason like, holy shit, I was not expecting this from fucking Microsoft. I
think with Fable, I think the game could very well turn out to be garbage because keep in mind, the game was going to be scrapped, and then after that was
Fable Legends. That was Fable Legends.
Okay,
kind of a spinoff.
The game was going to be scrapped though, right? But now after the success of Horizon Zero Dawn and people started screaming that they wanted, a single player game.
And first was that franchise.
Yeah. And then they, but first it was on the shelf. Now it's off the shelf, but it took people screaming about the success of Horizon Zero Dawn for it to get to this point. And that's where I'm going with that, so
because remember Horizon Zero Dawn proved fucking that when Phil Spencer made that statement that same year when Horizon came out about fucking single player games are not like, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like 2 months later or 3 months later, Horizon fucking comes out and they reveal that it sold like 7 million. They're like, oh shit, we fucked up. We should have never said that. God damn it. So they had to think of something drastic. So like, you know what, man? We have Fable sitting on the back bench, man. Nobody's making anything. Lionhead Studios is gone. And look, to be honest, Lionhead was already out of the gate from fucking for a while now because outside from fucking Fable, they weren't doing shit. And that company was literally fucking laying doormat at this point. So I understand why Fable Legends got canceled. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, if they're going to make a fucking brand new reboot to fucking Fable, dude, man, and they're giving it to the devs that make fucking Forza, I'm totally going to be happy with that. Especially in Perfect Dark.
Bullshit, Fatal. It's gonna be bullshit.
No, hey, dude, I can dream, J-Wags, bro. Why do you gotta crush my dreams? I'll be laughing at you though if that actually does become true. And Perfect Dark is being made by Coalition. I'm gonna laugh at all you motherfuckers. Watch it. You watch it again.
I can tell you now. It's gonna
Dude,
be
no, I'm
shit.
telling you, yo, dude,
I'm telling you now, man, it's gonna be shit.
shut up.
I think it's gonna be shit because they started it. You know, they pulled the plug on it, and then all of a sudden they starting up again. So now I think it might be a situation where they might be scrambling to try to get the game together.
Here's the thing, right? Fable Legends was not a proper Fable game at all, period. It was a spin-off title that they tried to do something new, trying to take that approach to like kind of like what Zombie U did, right? Where you have one person, if you ever played Zombie U multiplayer, you had one person that was kind of like the person that would plant shit around on the map. You know what I mean? The kind of thing is like D&D style, like you're the dungeon master kind of thing, right? And that's kind of like what they were trying to go with fucking with Fable Legends and whatever the case would be. I just don't think it's run out of time. I don't fucking know why I care. It wasn't a proper Fable game. It was a spin-off like that Fable fucking Connect bullshit was, right? But I'm talking about a full-on reboot to Fable. Fable 1 was incredible for its own time, and that game is a cult classic to many, many fucking Xbox fans, including myself. Love that game. If they do a reboot, and the people that turn 10's fucking making that shit, yo, fuck out of here, son. That game is gonna fucking be killer, dude. If it is being made, look, I don't care if it's ready or not. Just fucking show it. Just confirm it to people that you're making it. Just don't cancel it 2 years later. That's all. What's up, J-Wags?
Not man. Just got done making a video. My voice is a little bit hoarse right now.
What's your video about?
I haven't got the alert from it yet.
No, it's still processing.
Oh, that's why I haven't got the alert.
It's not upload YouTube. I'm actually just still uploading like from my video software, so it won't be up till like midnight. But it's called Xbox is in a state of decay rant, and that's gonna be my last. Yeah, I got a good intro for it and everything else, like a theme thing. But that's my last rant. I say at the video. My last rant until May 25th or whatever the hell it is. Until I play State of Decay 2 is my last Xbox rant. I'm tired of talking about it. My voice.
I was watching a video yesterday of State of Decay 2 where somebody was actually playing the test build. The same ones that people like that they've been giving out to PC players and shit like that, because all the Xbox ones were whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They said the tethering is actually not as bad as the way fucking GameSpot fucking made it sound in their little preview video, like, because they were testing it out, because that was one of the biggest issues that they were testing out, and they said they went extremely fucking far on the map before they got pulled back.
That's not a big deal to me. I can just tell.
No.
I can tell watching the gameplay. They didn't put any fucking time in that game though.
Yeah,
you see how you see the animations. You see how vehicles pop in and out. You see the foliage. It looks. I'm not saying like graphics. You know, that's not a big problem with it, but I could tell. I knew for a long time now that this game wasn't going to be, you know, a big AAA banger. I know what State of Decay was.
Well, but, no, when they got that, when they told everybody it was $30.
But for the people, I knew before that it wasn't going to be, you know.
Yeah.
If you're familiar,
that's indie, not a AAA studio, man.
Yes, I knew before that, but you know, for people who were expecting this to be a big AAA title, they did say that, but I knew this wasn't going to be the game for them. You know, this isn't console sellers, isn't you know, a banger for them, and neither is Crackdown 3. But I don't really have that much of a problem with State of Decay 2, besides the fact that I can just tell that they just shit it out, bro. this isn't, you know, I don't know why people thought it was going to be like a big, you know, huge AAA experience. It's not going to be.
So with that being said,
it looks like an indie game.
You know, based on the glitches that you know about the car flickering on and off like a light, about, you know, bodies sticking out of buildings and shit like that I heard, and having to be tethered to the host, and the co-op players can't progress, only the host can progress. You know, how can you not see another rant coming?
Oh yeah. I can see it coming. And the reason it's a big deal, there's plenty of games like this that are made all the time. But the reason this is such a big deal, obviously, is because it's not really first party, I guess, but you know, it's Microsoft exclusive and one of the big ones for the year. And the reason people are so pissed off and why it's such a big deal is because they didn't put any money behind this. Why, if they had nothing else lined up for this year that we know of yet, all we know is sometime maybe Crackdown, besides that Sea of Thieves. Why, if they had nothing else lined up, why did they not sink money into this game? Why did they not try to make this thing, you know, of a higher quality? Why did they not work out all the kinks and bugs before release?
Money in other stuff. That's
exactly, but they're content. They're content with putting out half-ass products.
Yep.
But they spend serious dough hyping these games up. Look how much I can only imagine how much money they spent hyping up Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah, I think they spent more money hyping that game than they did actually developing it.
And that's the whole point. They could have used that money to put out a quality product. And I think the game would have eventually spoke for itself, and people would eventually got on board with it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Clay. But people don't understand. It's like Microsoft, they have the money to market and put the money in there. You look at God of War. They put so much time and money into God of War, and the marketing was insane. Have you seen the marketing for this shit? Big ass banners in New York City. It's on the side of buses, commercials. That game is, you can't go anywhere. Well, I don't know about now, but before the game released, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing God of War commercial. I was talking to this girl. She knows nothing about video games at all, and she knew what God of War was.
To me, the difference being is, I think Sony and Sony Santa Monica really believed they had something special on their hands. Whereas I think, Microsoft, I think they knew they had some possible bullshit on their hands, but they was gonna go ahead and drop the money on it and hype the game up. Because I feel like Sea of Thieves is some quick drug dealer money. They hyped that game up. They got everybody, whatever amount of people they got to get on board with the game. Mm-hmm. It happened in like the first week or two. Mm-hmm. So to me, it seems like when Microsoft puts out something, they only interested in what's going to happen. Up until now, they only interested in what happens in the first or second week. Unless it's something they plan on trying to have reoccurring revenue on.
Mm-hmm. I truly thought, man, when Game Pass was first announced, I was kind of hyped for it. I'm like, this is fantastic. But now a time's gone by, I'm starting to have a different outlook on Game Pass, man. I think I'm seeing it for what it really is. And I know some people may have touched this before, but I honestly think this Game Pass, right, is because it's convenient that it dropped not along, but Sea of Thieves was the first, game to drop on there. The big, AAA quotation mark game to drop on Game Pass. And I think it's a blanket, man. They say, it's $10 a month. So people figure you can't really bitch, right? It's lacking content, this and that. Like, oh, it's only $10 a month. And I think that's gonna be their business model going forward, man. Every game they release from now on, maybe with the exception of Forza, is gonna be some half-ass bullshit. It's lacking content. It's not finished. It's buggy. Whatever. They'll patch over time, and it's justified because it's only $10 on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like more and more that the basis of Game Pass seems to be last gen games, 360 games. And when I first read about the first time I ever read about Game Pass, that I believe they changed it, but the way Game Pass was supposed to work, when I first read it, was that they would, it was a rotation. They would, put out, new games every month and remove other games. Okay, here's how it would work. A game would come out, several games would come out this month, right? And you could play those games this month. And then I guess after about 30 days or something like that, they would take those games out of the library. And if you wanted to continue playing those games, you had to buy them.
Right.
So I don't think it's doing that now, but
no, it's not the case now. But I think it's supposed to be permanent, which is good. But if any service like this is essentially Netflix for games. It's what it is. And Netflix are constantly adding new movies, new shows. They started their own original series. You have shows that you can only watch on Netflix. They're constantly adding new content to this thing to incentivize people to come back to it, right? And keep paying that monthly subscription. And for Microsoft to do that in the gaming world, that's not going to work on a normal scale. When it takes this long, 5, 6, 7 years to develop a game like God of War. So it makes perfect sense to me now that they're going to start making these games like this, like Sea of Thieves or State of Decay or whoever, God knows what else, these little kiddie ass games or these 1 year projects, 2 year projects, and just start putting bullshit on this service to justify that subscription service.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Fatal.
Yes, sir.
It appears that Big Money is watching this stream from his PlayStation. So he sent me a message over the PlayStation Messenger and wanted me to ask you if State of Decay is in beta right now.
It's in test beta right now for PC right now. The Xbox signups are already full, so I couldn't get in.
That shit's gonna be in beta when it releases, bro.
Well, more than likely it will. Look, the only thing I care about, man, is having fun with that game because I enjoyed the first one so far from when I played of it. I could see the potential in it. And to be fair, honestly, when I see this new one, dude, it looks better in my opinion. Graphically wise, it does look a little bit better in my opinion. At least the way when you look down sites, it looks a hell of a lot.
I was, you know what, I was searching when I was making a video. I put State of K2 in Google Images, and it came up, and it just showed me all these screenshots of like in-game stuff that all looked amazing. You know, like how they showed E3 2016 and shit. Yeah. All these like it looked like amazing graphics, not amazing, but like pretty good fucking graphics. I was like, okay, I know this isn't true because if you watch the footage, it looks nothing like that.
So
it was severely downgraded for what they showed at E3 2016. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that.
Fuck, I know I was gonna say something about that garbage ass State of Decay 2.
Sorry about your train of thought off there, Clay.
Oh no. It wasn't. It was there, and then I lost it.
I'm not saying like the game for what it is. Like I knew if you're familiar with State of Decay at all, you shouldn't have known this was going to be something groundbreaking. But it's just not a good look. It's just bad timing is what it is. And Microsoft is, in the past year and a half, 2 years, has been the king of bad timing. You just released Sea of Thieves, which is a goddamn disaster. People are pissed off about it. Then you got your next only exclusive for the year coming out, State of Decay 2. Look at the way it looks, the run the way it runs. And after that, nobody knows. Nobody knows what's next besides possibly Crackdown 3 if that doesn't get delayed or canceled. So that's the big problem here. At least with Sony, we know what's coming, and Nintendo, we know what's coming. That's all. Honestly, that's all I want as an Xbox guy. Is I just want to get. I don't care if it's fucking 3 years later. Just let me know what's coming.
Okay.
Here's something. It's like I knew the new Avengers was coming out forever now. Shit like that.
Okay. Here's what I was gonna say. Where I had lost my train of thought for a second. What about with State of Decay? To me, it doesn't seem to follow Zombie Protocol. I'm led to believe that with a zombie game, basically you are overwhelmed and you put in a position where you have to use your ammunition sparingly, that you just can't go shooting all over the damn place because there's going to be so many zombies everywhere. Like take Days Gone, for instance, even though that's more a situation where those are infected, but still he's in a situation where he just can't go on a shooting spree and just shoot up shit everywhere because of how many infected are coming at him. Doesn't it seem like a zombie game should have, where you're overwhelmed? Even the zombie mode on the Call of Duty games, the zombie modes, eventually once you get high enough, you reach a certain level, you're overwhelmed by all those zombies where everywhere you turn around, they're everywhere.
Well, same thing could happen
at that point.
The same thing could have happened with this game, and they've already said that it was going to. All the stuff that we've seen gameplay wise, man, was like mid game. They said the farther you keep going, the higher you keep playing, and the longer you keep playing, the more zombies come at you and shit.
I'm not saying that's not true, but I don't like that shit when they say, "Oh, this isn't the whole game," or this isn't this part. Like, they'll come. I don't know, man. I have seen things like I know what you're saying, Clay. I think it will happen where you'll have situations where you get overwhelmed. I do know that that noise plays a big factor in this game, so you have to be quiet. If you fire off shots, you're going to attract every zombie in the area, shit like that. So I think it will stay true to some zombie, I guess, protocol, whatever you want to say. I think it's going to be a good zombie, survival game. I really do. I think the first one was pretty good at it as far as they're in their own little genre there, and the second one should improve on a lot of the first one's shortcomings, but we'll see. We really won't know until we play the game. People are right about that. I'm judging right now what I see from gameplay and people talking about it, but I truly won't know until I actually play the game. So I don't know. I guess it's just a wait and see kind of thing.
Well, what I saw was still a turn off to me because when they showed some of the gameplay or some of the trailers, you got one zombie, walking across the street, and he's the only zombie within eyesight. And instead of running from him, the co-op team is fighting to get to him. They're fighting to get the kill. Mm-hmm. And so I'm led to believe that if you follow a zombie protocol, like, you see instead of seeing one zombie walking across a gas station parking lot, you seeing 200 zombies coming at you across that gas station parking lot, and you blowing up the gas tanks to try to take out 50 of them or something like that. Instead of
I doubt. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, but I doubt in this game that you'll ever see like 200 zombies at once. I don't think it's that kind of scale. like a Dead Rising kind of thing. But I don't know. It does look underwhelming to me. I thought that they were going to go, above and beyond, and this looks kind of just like, just a mediocre successor to the original, in my opinion.
And I'm
there's certain things I don't like. Ryan, I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, you
certain things that I've seen from gameplay footage. I'm just like, really? Like, you couldn't have added this? Like, an example I'll give you is if you're a passenger in a car,
no, you can't do shit.
Yeah, all you can do is open the door. You can't aim out the window. You can't, do anything. And I was like,
what?
Really?
Whoa. You can't shoot from the car?
Nope.
No.
Oh, hell no.
You can't do anything in the car. I don't even think you can heal in the car or anything.
Oh, I think, hell no. So let me get this straight. You can kill as much shit as you want, but if you're not the host, you're not going to progress. And you're a passenger in a car, you can't shoot.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't shoot, but that whole progression thing is still weird to me because apparently they did clarify, and Feo told me this. I guess some stats, like I guess your personal stats, your items that you acquire carry over. But I'm still shaky on this whole, the every mission's like procedural generated, and every playthrough will be the same. Randomly generated missions. I don't know how that's all going to work out. It sounds a little fishy to me, but as far as from what I understand, though, go ahead and explain it, Feo. I'm still shaky on it
because the devs were saying not so much like I guess in a way procedural, I guess in a way, but like randomly generated to more of an extent. They said like nobody when you play your game, like everyone's game is going to be entirely different to each other. And I was just like,
it'll be the same missions.
Well, no, I mean, but it's the thing. It's like the missions like are there, but like they're done
in different order.
Yeah, different order, but a lot of them change though from what they said.
Yeah, but it can't. It can't. That's impossible.
What do you mean? That's what I don't understand. I mean, didn't they say that same shit about Thieves that that no mission is the same?
If you're telling me every mission is gonna be different for every person, then how many missions did you program in this fucking thing?
If it's randomly generated, it can go on infinite.
Yeah, but no. But if it's randomly generated, it's just in a different order though, because they have a set number of missions. Like there's a set, there's only so many missions you can do. It's not gonna be like, for instance, like if me and you play the whole thing, we're not gonna have different fucking missions every time. It might be a different order. There's no way. That's not possible.
I'm not sure. I'll have to find that fucking that article I was looking at.
You know what I'm saying? No, if they're trying to say, oh no, everybody if each person's gonna have a whole different mission with different objectives and different story elements, whatever the fuck, that's impossible. You only have a set number of missions programmed into that game. I mean, even if they're adding more, throughout the week or over time, it's still people are gonna run to the same fucking missions.
Yeah,
I don't buy that bullshit.
Let me respond to Big Money real quick. He said, look on the bright side. You can hit them with a car door. It doesn't matter. I
was very disappointed by that. Like I can't shoot the car in this survival post-apocalyptic world. I can't shoot the goddamn car. Like, that's what I mean by underwhelming, and the fact that they didn't push the envelope with the sequel. They I can tell just from watching the gameplay that they just did a bare minimum. And
right. So if you do reach a level where you become overwhelmed and you're in the car and you're in a situation where you can't drive out of there, then you're gonna have to get out the car and fight.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know, man. Just this shit, to me, it just sounds like a game where I stop short of saying it is broken.
It's gonna be it's gonna be mediocre. That's a nice way of saying it, but it's not going to blow anybody's head off, whatever the fuck you want to say. It's not going to blow the doors off anybody. No one's going to be like, wow, this is the greatest thing. No.
And when does this game release?
I think 25th is.
Here we go. I found it. All right. So it says basically procedurally generating enemies, places, and loot in State of Decay 2. This is loot in State of Decay 2 is distributed in a few different procedural systems, each with its own serves its own purposes. It says containers where loot can be procedurally populated are placed by hand, but no loot drop itself on any location is hand placed. Every time we generate a map, a variety of items and resources and loot and vehicles are distributed according to this process. Some elements will be the same across multiple instances of the same map. Every map guarantees that every gas station site fucking has at least one gas can, etc., etc. Some elements will be very different. Say, for example, that across the whole map, we want to drop, say, 25 normal melee weapons. These aren't guaranteed to show up at certain sites, but instead distributed procedurally across all sites into containers, whitelisted to make sense, dropping items or contained implied physical sizes, which makes sense for them. Blah, 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 blah. Site type guarantees are used to ensure we match players' expectations when they go to loot sites that strongly telegraph certain kinds of loot. Construction sites will always have at least one certain material. And gas stations will always have at least a gas can item that could be used to refuel a car. Yeah. This system allows us to precisely fucking dictate what percentage of sites of a given user-facing type drop items of a certain type. Blah, 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 blah. That's just for the item stuff like that. And it goes on to talk about in multiplayer, additional loot is distributed in containers that aren't fucking openable in single player. In the effort to encourage cooperation over competition, the game only allows the player a lootable object belongs to it to open it. After which you can share out its contents, fucking if they feel so inclined. I don't like the sound of that. The team also focused on trying to equally distribute containers throughout larger structures. Blah 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 blah. Hold on, you know what? I'm not done yet. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover in here. Let me find the part where they were talking about the whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, everything you said is just randomly generated loot.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the placement of different things and shit.
Yeah,
like
even placement though, it's still just placing different loot. That doesn't.
No. But the thing is, with this game here, with this game here, as far as like the actual mission structure goes, the way they worded it, it sounded to me like they were talking about like. Hold on, let me keep looking. Let me keep looking because there was that one. There was also another one I was looking at too. Keep going.
While you're searching, I want to throw a curveball in there too. So I looked up the exact release dates. Looks like State of Decay 2 is supposed to release on the 22nd, and Detroit Become Human releases on the 25th.
Oh, that's on the 25th, yeah.
So do you think that when whatever hype may get, whatever 72 hours of hype they might have for State of Decay 2 when it releases, do you think all that shit will just disappear when Detroit Become Human hits?
I don't know. Like they're entirely different games, as we all know. But Detroit Become Human is definitely going to take some of the hype. It's going to take all the hype from fucking State of Decay. Everybody's been talking about that game, reviewers, Digital Foundry, whoever. But as far as affecting sales of State of Decay 2, I don't think so. Especially considering it's $30, it's on Game Pass. Everybody will still be playing that game.
Yeah, I don't expect it to affect the sales whatsoever. But take the Sea of Thieves, for instance, how hyped everybody was for that game, and they was talking about that game and this and that and that and this and all this shit. And then as soon as God of War got a release date, everything went toxic. Everybody forgot about Sea of Thieves, and everybody went toxic.
Yeah, I think State of Decay, because it's multiplayer, right? It's probably gonna be a popular streaming game. So I see that being, a big thing for like a week or so, but it'll die off quick.
I agree.
But as far as what like Fail was saying, he's still looking at the shit. As far as all that like procedural generated loot and shit like that, that doesn't explain anything I was talking about. If they're just gonna drop a loot in random location, that sounds like Fortnite and PUBG, shit like that, different loot every time or different weapons here and there, every map you go into. But I mean, that's not going to affect missions. That's not going to affect, the way you approach certain items.
I know. I'm trying to find
situations.
it, man.
Just because the loot's, in a different house here, a different house there, you're still going to get that same fucking loot. So, that might get you in a different, circumstances, situations where there's more zombies over here, more zombies over there. But as far as actual mission structures go, or like what your objectives are, there's no way that could be randomly generated.
Mm-hmm. The question I'm about to ask you is actually a question that I could have saved for you for the Lincoln show. But if we see the first update from State of Decay, the first DLC, and we have a situation where they have 4 different guns that look identical but got different names. Could we expect another rant?
God damn it! No, I'll be furious, bro. If they like I said, if they want to start the same bullshit again, because I'm already seeing the trend, man. That Sea of Thieves shit was so. And I know that Fatal said it wasn't a main update, whatever. That was still an update, and that you had 3 different goddamn swords that were almost exactly the same goddamn color, and you got to grind forever to get each of these 3 shades. They even had the same fucking name with a slight variation, and that is the epitome of laziness by these developers nowadays.
Yeah,
and if they do the same shit in State of Decay 2, it's just going to solidify what I've been saying, man. What other people have been saying. They don't give a fuck, and they're putting in the bare minimum effort with these games and to try to maximize their profits. They want to spend as little money as possible and make a fortune.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about like how Microsoft, wants to make a game and spend as little as possible on it and try to make money off of it. For 15 years, they want to try to make, $2 million out of the paper bag, something that costs 2 cents to make. Whereas Sony, they're willing to spend some money to make some money, and they're not looking at this, drug dealer looking money where they, got minimal investments with, an eyeball and huge profits. They spending some money and putting some TLC into these games. So they're not spending $50 million with the intention of making $3 billion. That's what Microsoft is trying to do. They're trying to spend $49.95 and trying to make $2 billion off this shit.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I understand, like we're all growing here. We know what, business is. Like we know these companies are in business. Yeah. Their main objective is to make money, but Microsoft is doing it in a way that's insulting.
Yeah. It's a slap in the face.
Yeah. To its consumer base. Like, yeah, we understand you got to make profit. Completely understandable. We want you to make money because we want you to invest said money into better experiences for us. It's a back and forth, relationship, right? And they're not giving the ball back. Or I'm trying to think right now. They're not like playing fucking volleyball, right? Like they're not bouncing the ball back to us. You know what I mean?
No,
they're taking everything from us and giving us nothing back. Like I said, Sony, yeah, they spent all this money on God of War, but they made their money back in the first 3 days. And they're going to continue to make money off that game, for however long now. And people didn't mind. People didn't, like, especially me. I didn't bat an eye at dropping $60 for that game. That game, in my opinion, is worth more than $60.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal game. Going back to that shit about Sea of Thieves with the swords and stuff like that. See, now what makes it even more fucked up about those swords being identical but have different names. So if you got the sword and you charging at me, all I know is you got the sword, but I don't know which sword you have. Therefore, I don't know what the sword is going to do to me. If these swords can do different shit, even though they look alike,
I'm not even sure.
I don't know how to strategize against you because I don't know what sword you carrying. All I know is that you're carrying a sword.
I'm not even sure that they have different stats, Lincoln.
No shit, just different names.
Different names and a slightly different tint to them. Because it even had the same cuts in them, the same, what I just want to call them, like blacksmith marks or whatever, same chips,
yeah,
the exact same place.
Yeah. And then when you showed those, what was it, like those lion heads or something like that on the front of those ships?
Yeah, with like
and
a
the
different colored eye or something.
Yeah, that was the only difference I saw in the damn eyes. I said, how the fuck?
Yeah, man, I see this shit and I don't see people outraged. I'm like, you ain't pissed about this? And then people's other thing will say, oh, well, it's free. It's free, is it? You pay for the console, you pay for the game, even with Game Pass. This game's a service shit. That's people trying to justify. Oh, well, it's free updates. No, it's not. This game didn't have any content when you bought the fucking thing, and even the content they have out there now is still nowhere near a complete game. You got gypped, and you will continue to get gypped.
And it won't be for a fucking while. But if you're already paying for fucking Game Pass and you're already playing other games on that service, you technically are playing Sea of Thieves for free. So I complain.
No, you're not playing it for free.
I can't see it that way.
I'm playing it for free because I'm still using the service for other games that I play.
I can't see it that way because all the other games on there, with them being last gen games, all these damn 360 games that are on there, either I already played them or I had no interest in them. Game Pass is not going to stir up any interest for me in a game that I was not. If I wasn't interested in the game 5 years ago, I'm not going to be interested in the game now just because it's on Game Pass.
And what you just said, Fatal, is exactly my point. Like you just said, oh, like why are you gonna bitch about it? Technically, it is free because I'm using these other games. That's the scary part because they know people think like that. People are starting to think that way.
Wait. So you're still under the influence, right? That you think that Microsoft deliberately released State of fucking or Sea of Thieves the way that they did because of Game Pass?
I think Game Pass had a lot to do with it. Yes.
You're really gonna tell me that with a straight fucking face?
I think Game Pass had a lot to do with it. Yeah.
No.
If they were to release this game, if Game Pass didn't exist and they released this game at $60 fucking dollars, nobody would have bought that shit.
Well,
nobody.
That's why do you think they did that? Not because of the fact that it was lacking content.
Yes.
No. Because State of Decay is going to be coming out, and that game is going to be fucking exactly like the first game. You said it yourself, and that game is not going to be fucking gypped off of content-wise. Especially at the price that they're offering it for you. So if that was true to what you're saying is, then why the fuck did CFD sell more fucking so perfectly fine NPD wise?
How many copies of CFD sold?
Well, we don't know, but we do know that it must have sold rather well if it became number 2 on that fucking week for that week.
What else?
Like no, here's my point. What I'm saying is, right? If Halo 6, we all know all future games are going to be coming out, right? Now, this I would easily be able to agree with you. Say if Halo 6 dropped and Halo 6 was missing content and they released it on Game Pass, then I would easily incline to agree with you. But there's still way too much evidence pointing at the fact way before Game Pass was even a mere thought that Rare was supposed to make a fucking free-to-play game, and that was Sea of Thieves. And Microsoft did not want to devalue fucking Rare's legacy. That's what I'm getting from that. Now, I'm not saying that you're right or you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it that way. Because until we see a better game, say like fucking the next Forza Horizon game come out, and if that game is chock full of content, that theory goes out the fucking window, in my opinion.
Well, a game like Forza, even if the game turns out,
I'm not doubting you. I'm just
they still gonna invest enough in Forza to make the game look good, even if it turns out to be trash. What I'm curious is what the hell is going on with them making these games that look and play like trash?
Well, that's the thing because a lot of them aren't. But hold on. J-Wags, talk.
Yeah,
your mic's doing it again. Fuck. Now, what game are you referring to that runs and looks and plays like trash there, Lincoln?
State of Decay, probably.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but that's not even a full price game. That's not even a AAA game. That's a middleware title, indie title maybe. Yeah, it's an indie.
Yeah, but still, I'm based off what I see so far, though.
Where I'm going with this is that it was obvious they didn't have any intentions of putting some TLC into this game, effort-wise and financially. The question is why? I mean, I don't get it. Microsoft has been acting anyway. I'm led to believe that they probably would have half-assed this game anyway, even if Game Pass didn't exist.
Well, no, well, that's the thing, and then it would have been the exact same the end results because nobody said shit about fucking State of Decay last generation.
Well, I don't. Did the first State of Decay started out getting AAA hype?
No. Now I will do agree 100% that was pretty fucking stupid. Fucking my guess is maybe at the time when Microsoft got devs Undead Labs to start working on this game, maybe they were treating it like a AAA game because clearly what we saw, and you said it yourself there, J-Wags, from what we saw from the reveal trailer, dude, it looked almost like a AAA game, close to one.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know. Maybe it's because they would like Microsoft or they were losing money because after all, this is an indie title. After all, maybe they run out of fucking funding and Microsoft didn't want to back them up. And if that be the case, fuck you, Microsoft, for doing that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a good point because people are saying, well, maybe Microsoft cut their budget. I'm like, why? If that's all the fuck they got coming out right now, why would they not? Why would they not want to put some money in this project?
Yeah, exactly. And then both Sea of Thieves and State of Decay, both of those games look like indie games to me right from the start, right from the very first trailer that I seen of both of those games. But when I seen the trailer of both of those games, State of Decay did look like it might be a little more fun than Sea of Thieves. So my thinking was that if they gave Sea of Thieves the AAA hype the way they did, then they gonna double down when it comes to the hype for State of Decay 2.
And I wish they would have. I wish they would have put. I wish they would have went balls to wall with this game because it could probably be. It would have been legendary if they had done that. But
that would have been dope, man. Because that would have been a huge thing from going from an indie to like an indie style kind of game with State of Decay 1 to like a AAA State of Decay.
Yeah, that's still something we're missing. Fatal is like a big like the same kind of game that State of Decay is with survival elements and zombie shit like that, but just like fucking big AAA. Looks amazing, plays amazing.
And I agree.
Legendary, what I mean? Like this crazy, huge, big zombie real experience that everybody's craving for, especially with how God damn it, with how popular.
I love it when his mic does it. His mic literally trolls the fuck out of the poor kid.
Like how popular like The Walking Dead and shit like that, man.
Yeah,
it'd have been. That's like my dream game. It's like something.
That's why I'm looking forward to that Overkill Walking Dead.
I'm looking forward to that too. Yeah, that looks good as fuck. Yeah,
we need to see gameplay, not CGI trailers.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be more like a linear based kind of story, which is fine. But I don't think that's going to be like too open world. It could be like God of War, like a hub kind of thing.
But hey, who knows? That game could very well be exactly what State of Decay was supposed to bring to the table. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't. We don't know anything about that game yet.
But I mean, like I said, until we see gameplay of it, obviously, I'm sure it's going to look ultimately better. But I mean, clearly, because when you look at the game for State of Decay 2, it's like, yeah, it's no wonder why it's $30. Because like something must have happened. So at the time when they made that fucking that post, which I believe it was back in 2015, I think, man, if I'm not mistaken, because I think that was the same year when they revealed that State of Decay 2 was coming.
Yeah, but at the same time though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
State of Decay was 30. The price don't mean shit to me anymore because State of Decay is 30, but Sea of Thieves is 60 retail.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. That makes no fucking sense to me. And like I said, that has probably something to do with the play on the name of fucking Rare, because the fact that it's Rare.
I think it's all in the water, man. I think that water's AAA for goddamn sure.
The thing about it is the water's pre-rendered.
That's true.
I'll tell you what. I slam Sea of Thieves, bro. I'll tell you what. If you look at the water from the surface, don't jump in it. But if you look at the water from the surface on the boat, that is hands down the best water I've ever seen in the game so far.
Oh my god, I hate hearing that shit.
No, but
anytime somebody mentions sea,
I'm saying I'll give him that. That water does look good when you're on the boat and shit.
I was saying there to Lincoln earlier in the show that like there's still, like I said, there's a lot of evidence that points to the fact that that game was originally supposed to be free to play. And Microsoft didn't want it to be that way because they didn't want to have to because remember the whole entire fucking backlash with microtransactions and shit, which is exactly what that game was supposed to be. After all, free-to-play games do that. It's typically common. But they didn't want to have that slander fucking go towards one of their first-party fucking studios. Now, why they fucking sold it at $60? Fucking beats the hell out of me. Why the hell was No Man's Sky sold at $60? Right? We don't know. And clearly, obviously, the backlash, it wasn't deserved that fucking price, even though I paid for it, and I still glad that I did.
I do believe.
Yeah, but again, though, like I put first-party games at a higher standard than I do third-party.
Yeah,
that game wasn't first-party, though.
And I do believe that Microsoft.
No Man's Sky wasn't. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying I put first-party games at a higher standard than third-party.
Yeah, but it's not like Sony. Like every game that Sony releases under first-party wise is a $60 title. Low.
No, but I'm saying they're all of pretty good, high quality.
They are definitely for the quality.
Dude, fucking Knack has more polish than Sea of Thieves.
Knack is so underrated.
I honestly believe that. I think in the beginning, I think Microsoft intended to price State of Decay at $60. I think it wasn't until the game was probably presented to a panel for the final okay that somebody said this is dog shit and there's no way we can sell this at $60. I think it was a last minute decision to make this game $30.
No, I believe it was a budget thing, and you can clearly see it fucking not only from its graphical fidelity but its gameplay fucking aspect, because all it's doing is doing the exact same thing the first game did. And it's not pushing what you come to expect. I mean, even though Madden pulls that shit every fucking year, or every sports game pulls it every year, but we come to expect that every year from a sports title, though.
Yeah, and let's not
State of Decay. Like I think it's because the fact that State of Decay, not with what you're saying is legit, but I'm saying that doesn't make sense to me. I think they ran out of money for as far as trying to meet that AAA quo, and Microsoft said, you know what, just fuck it, just go with the original one, the original design. Say fuck it.
Yeah, well, if that really happened, then that's a major concern.
Well, it is a major concern because think about it. Why not? It's so easy to actually be believable, given the fact that Microsoft right now, they don't give a fuck with investing money in exclusive deals shit. Remember that shit? Phil even said it himself, even though that's technically actually kind of a lie because they are investing money in fucking time to fucking exclusives. Like, fuck out of here, Phil.
Yeah.
Point is though, what I'm trying to say though, J-Wags, is that right now Microsoft is mainly focusing in on trying to get as much money from these services as possible, which is their main set goal. Even Phil himself mentioned said that. So I'm not surprised that he wouldn't pour more money into Undead Labs to make the game a AAA status game for the first party game. They're not even first party. It's just like whatever. But still, the point of the matter is, I guarantee you that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm led to believe that whatever they're going to give us is whatever they're going to get us. It's just a matter of they decide to spend the money to hype the game up the way they did Sea of Thieves.
Like I said, E3 will be E3 is be very telling what their plans are, man. And then whenever Crackdown comes out, is Crackdown in theory sounds like, but fuck the art style, fuck, we know what Crackdown looks like, but like if I really want to see, because we haven't seen anything yet, everybody keeps talking about it, these completely destructible environments. I want to see what the fuck that's all about with the power of the cloud and shit like that. If that turns out to be a falsehood, if we get Crackdown whenever, and that shit doesn't happen, like this happens, I don't know what I'm gonna say, man. Because that's gonna be another lie.
What I can't understand, as far as the destructible environment goes, if EA could pull it off with the Battlefield games, why can't they do it?
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield. Yeah, but was Battlefield fully destructible though?
Not Battlefield 1. I think Battlefield 4. I think a lot of the buildings in there are completely destructible. Depending on what mode you're playing, like if it gets hit by a tank or something like that, I think it can be completely leveled to the ground.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah, but I think like this shit's supposed to be on the level, man. Like everything.
And we talking a game. What Battlefield? What's about 4 years old? 4, 5 years old?
Yeah,
because it was a launch game, fully destructible.
I just noticed something, dude. Hold on, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is something. This also just shows you too as well how relevant this shit is too as well. But just bear with me for a moment, please. Bear with me for a moment.
Yep.
I need to backtrack my timestamp here.
Fails.
Okay. No. Well, I gotta. Yeah, trust me. You'll laugh and you'll be like, "What?" That's actually a good point, but that's fucking funny though. So last 2 months, the 5th of March and the 5th of fucking April, was the announcements for Inside Xbox for the 10th, right? Mm-hmm. So here we are going in on the 8th as of the next 2 minutes now, and we still don't have a date for this month's Inside Xbox. And remember, they confirmed it at the beginning of at the end of last month's episode about this one being more themed around State of Decay. So my question is this: either they are still going to do it, but it's still a good ways away, because if the game's not coming out until the 21st or something like that for State of Decay 2,
22nd.
But even still, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense given the fact that that Sea of Thieves didn't come out until the 20th of March, and we still got ours 10 days prior. So maybe hopefully, if they're going to announce anything, it'll probably end up being sometime later on today, or by no later than the 9th, and it'll be set for the fucking 12th. That would be exactly 12 days to the launch date. So,
I forgot about that. Cause
that's what I'm saying.
Now I have to make videos about that.
That just shows people how many people that don't give a fuck about Inside Xbox at all, period, people completely fucking forgot that there hasn't been a recent announcement this month alone.
I know I'm going to get asked about if I'll do a video, I'm going to get comments like, where the fuck's the video for?
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, okay. So my theory is this: if the game's not coming out until the 22nd, they're probably going to fucking announce it later on today that it's going to be scheduled for the 12th of this month, and that way it'll be a 10-day grind until State of Decay. That's my theory on it. Now, if they don't,
man, I'm telling you, whatever they do, I hope they don't do that shit like the Sea of Thieves hype where they take you to a fucking Halloween costume store and shit like that. Somebody wearing a goddamn mask and shit like that, and Major Nelson wearing some damn skeleton hands and shit like that, man.
It's gonna be like that. You know it's gonna be like that.
Oh God,
I'm gonna tweet Phil Spencer. I'm like, yo, why hasn't Inside Xbox date for this month been announced yet?
That big pumpkin head motherfucker.
They might have said "fuck it, Fatal." They might have saw like the viewership and like,
that could be it, man. Well, shit, hey, at least I got my 2 seconds of fame.
Yeah, I saw your tweet.
That shit had me dying when I saw that shit pop up on that fucking.
They might have said, "We're spending more money on this shit than
than our services." Fuck it, we're done with the Inside Xbox. The last 2 episodes, the shortest season in history.
Right.
That'd be crazy if they did that though. They're like, "Oh, yeah, we're done." It's like, what? What the fuck happened?
Well, gentlemen, it's getting close to time for me to close shop. Yeah, I got to get ready for work in the morning.
You gotta take your pain pills, huh? you should have told me that shit, bro.
Oh man, but my shoulder's like, man, I was gonna go to the gym today. Yeah, and I woke up, man, and my fucking shoulder was on fire, man. What I can't figure out is I don't know if I got bone spurs in my shoulder or something like that, or if I got a slight tear or something like that, because one thing's for certain is when I get a good night's sleep, it doesn't, it feels better the next day.
Yeah, so, put some icy hot in that shit, man.
So I don't know, man. I might get ready to go like holler at one of these chicks I know and see if she can, work on the shoulder or something like that.
Yeah, massage it up,
yeah, because she works some magic on my back, so. So I don't know. I might have to give her a holler, but in any case, and not to mention that I work 10 hours a day, so I was just too damn tired to go to the gym. But I definitely have to get in there tomorrow, and I got to get it done as soon as I get out of work because I plan on being on Titanfall's podcast before I go to the roundtable.
It's tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, because she goes on at 7:00 Eastern, and I think we go on at 9:00 with the roundtable.
I can't keep up, man. All these podcasts.
Yeah, I know what you mean about that. So it's only so far I can go. So I mean, okay, the round table is my home, and the PlayStation Plus podcast with Sick Humor, that's my second home, and I'm going, I don't know if I'll join her podcast permanently, but I will join Titanfall as much as I can, as long as I don't have anything going on, as long as I'm not tired as fuck.
I want you to know that my podcast is not usually like that. It just usually go that way.
Oh no! Like I was fine because I was just fine with listening to people because like Ryan was boxing with one of those dudes. Yeah. So I was fine with the podcast. I just left when I did because I was trying to keep a promise to Titanfall that I would join her. Because when I told her that I would try to join her, she instantly sent the link and said, whenever you can get here. So I was just trying to keep my word to get in there.
Okay, yeah, I thought you bounced. You were like, "The fuck's going on here?"
No. Like at the end of the day, like I think people misunderstand the way I am. Like while it's true, I don't like to, argue. Like to me, an argument is when it gets to the point where you beat your head up against the fucking wall, where y'all not making any progress.
Oh, and we weren't.
And then some people, I know people that want to win an argument so bad they'll lie to make their point. And
I want to say outlandish shit, like I couldn't believe that Quantum Break shit. That shit still has me like fucked up. But I don't know if you heard that or not, but somebody claimed on the podcast that they don't like Sony games because they don't offer a challenge. They're not challenging. I said, okay, what's an Xbox game? What's an example of an Xbox game? They gave you a great challenge, and that's why you like Xbox so much. He said Quantum Break. I was like, god damn it. And then it just went through this whole thing. We're like Quantum Break, and then it just fucking went left from there.
Oh no, never
Quantum Break though. Break. That shit was easy, bro.
No, I never played it. I was, I don't know. It was one of those games. The first time I saw it,
it's not a difficult game, bro. What's difficult is fucking not falling asleep playing that game, watching those cutscenes. Cutscenes so long your goddamn controller shuts off.
Damn.
Ridiculous.
Shit.
That's not even a joke.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw this out here for the rank and be completely fucking random, dude. Jennifer Lawrence actually has a nice fucking rack on her, dude.
Well, I agree, but that's probably time to wrap it up then, Clay.
Told you, random.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and shoot your intros on the way out.
My intros on the way out.
Yeah, starting with you, Jay.
All right, what's going on, everybody? This is JWax412. If you don't know me, gaming channel, rants, skits. I'm usually pretty upset, but I'm pretty calm right now. Twitter at JWags412. Follow me on there. It's always fun. Argue with some fucking dumb people. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Clay. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. And as far as that goes, man, keep me in the loop on your podcast. You know,
Yes, sir.
I'm subscribed to you. I'm subscribed to you, but definitely keep me in the loop. And I'm definitely gonna come join you on some more podcasts. I definitely want to get down. Speaking of which, before I get over to Fatal, this Thursday on the Lincoln Show, I have a Royal Flush Gaming as my guest. He also goes by the name of Draco Rex and the Asian Gambit. He will be my guest Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. And with that being said, if you are available, you are up next after him, Jay.
Yep. Just let me know, man.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. So with that being said, I appreciate that. And with that being said, that brings us to you, the Canadian Grizzly Bear. Would you like to get your outro in?
All right, guys. Thank you guys for having me. I'm your boy, Fatal, the milk bag titty sucking bitch. But thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to have y'all come through, man, because I already had my mind made up today that as soon as I started this podcast, I sent out links to all of y'all as soon as it started because I already had my mind made up that, hey, if you guys see this link and you're free, jump on in here.
Yeah, of course. Anytime, dude. I
definitely appreciate it. You know, thanks everybody for watching. Man, I don't know if I've ever done a stream that lasted over 3 hours before, but it was an amazing stream. You know, Jay Wags, thank you, Jay Wags. Thank you, Fatal Mephisto. And even though he dropped out, I don't know what happened to him. I still want to thank Gunru Gaming. He was in here too. It was a great show. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for posing some good questions that help keeping things going on. You know, Andre 6K, have a good night. Ryan Landis, have a good night. And everybody else that tuned in, have a good night. And we will see you next time. Keep an eye out for me tomorrow for our Titanfall Princesses podcast. Here we go with that shit again podcast. I'll post a link on Twitter once we get that started. And then check us out on the Roundtable podcast. Same deal. I'll post a link when we get going on that one. So, woo, that's a lot of shit I said. But
yes,
that's going to do it for us. And there's your boy Lincoln Clay along with Jay Wags and the Canadian Bear Fatal Mephisto. We are out of here, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.
Have a good night, y'all.
Yep.
Yo, did that update?